Let's get this thing back into shape. Freaking hell, kids. All right, guys, listen, guys. We're here to give you guys Ready to Love panel. We're going to be talking to you guys about the recent episode. It's mad. We had KAMIL going mad. We had Sydney coming in like a wrecking ball. We had Shawn, who seemingly is a creative, but the girls think that he hasn't got a job. We had, obviously, the situation with old boy. What's his name? Why I forgot his name? We had old boy. What's his name? Oh, my days. Why has his name gone out of my head? Corey. We had Corey moving absolutely mad. My guy wanted to deflect all the way through. He wanted to deflect, simple thing. He wanted to deflect. He wanted to deflect every question that our friend MUMEN had. But the buff was moving mad. Tyrone too. Tyrone was moving absolutely mad, and y'all saw the video I had to put up. I had to take it down. Yes, I know. It's a bit of a mad thing. It is what it is. But yeah. So yeah, no. It was a crazy episode. So I want to get you guys involved. I want to get you guys on the panel today. I want to get you guys having conversations. It's an opportunity for you guys to get involved with today's particular topic. Let me get a little banner so you guys can join in, baby. All right, cool. Let's do this. If you want to have your say, you get what I'm saying? The ones there, cause. All right, cool. Beautiful. Let's get that scrolling. All right, cool. So yes, last episode was a Mazzoline. Okay. I want to say this first and foremost. We had first and foremost want to deal with Corey. Corey showed his hand, his complete hand. Okay, when MUMEN asked him simple questions, the brother was struggling to answer them straight. Okay, the guy was doing all sorts of dodging and all sorts of kind of doing basically deflection, which is what he said himself, right? Because he didn't want to answer the question openly and fairly. He did not want to answer the questions truthfully. But we saw this coming. Right? We saw Corey coming from a mile away. This is nothing new. We saw him coming, right? And we've been saying it for a very long time that this brother, is just out for blood. He just wants all the women, and he just wants to make sure that all the women are gonna get it in the neck. All he cares about is sex. Well, I shouldn't say sex. All he cares about, it seemed like, was getting his leg over. Pressing up on women, And now on this episode, the brother was out here doing all passing notes. And bro, you're doing it right in front of the fact that you have MUMEN and you have Courtney as your two main women that you like, and you're doing this mad gesture right in front of the other woman, and then you think that this is not going to blow back on you, and then when you're questioned, you're trying to pretend as if you didn't do it. What game are you playing, bro? What game are you playing? What are your hopes here? What were you hoping to achieve? That's what really frustrates me about this whole situation. Bro, what were you trying to achieve? You know what I'm saying? And do you know what it is? Yeah. If somebody is going to deflect your conversation like this, ladies and gentlemen, please leave them alone. If they cannot honestly answer a question in the right manner, in the right way, please leave them alone. They don't need you. You don't need them, and you don't need that in your life. You don't need that stress. You don't need that pain in your life. Trying to talk to somebody, ask them very simple questions about, hey, did you put the notes there? And then you're saying, it's true. It's true. It's true. He's done it before. You know what I mean? He's done it before. And it's true. Yes, this is another question point. He's not discreet at all. But the thing is, he doesn't want to be discreet. It's like the brother just doesn't want to be discreet. Bro, he wants. It's almost as if he wants to have. Someone said, "What if production planted those notes?" Well, I don't know. I don't think production did, because I think he in the end admitted that he's the one that planted it. So, and this whole I want you to meet my parents stuff again. The meet the parent situation. We know when Mandem use that line, what they really mean. He's not using meet my parents as a denominator to find out if you're the right one for me. He's using that as a line as to kind of sucker you in. Okay, he wants to make it seem as if, oh, I want you to meet my parents, like, and you're gonna get gas thinking, oh, he's serious about me because he wants me to meet his parents. But what? Nah, brother. Nah, brother. We're not here for them things there, bruv. So it's like, I don't want a piece, he wants war. Yeah, Corey's ego's gonna keep it single. And for me, it was just, I wasn't impressed by Corey, man. And the game is so basic. That's what makes it more annoying. It's like the game is so basic, so basic, you know. And unfortunately, Courtney in the end got so vexed about the situation. You know, she got vexed about the situation because obviously she got lied to in the end. And listen, the brother was gonna do what he's gonna do. Listen, I'm not even gonna front with you. He was always gonna do what he was gonna do. And Courtney, I'm sure you sensed it, that the guy is not genuine. He's not genuine. He's not genuine. Yeah, and you still are going after him. No. I couldn't deal. And then we had obviously Courtney. Sorry, not Courtney. We had obviously Tyrone, who also went as well this week. Tyrone. It was too soon, sir. Okay, for you to be going and going after this woman and telling her that you want to be married, sir, it's way too early. Way too early. You got to give it some time, sir. You got to give it some time. You haven't even got to know her yet. You don't even know her yet, brother. She said 1 or 2 lines with you, had 1 or 2 conversations, sir, and you getting gassed? Oh no, sir. You basically, what happened with Tyrone is he's like a kid he's like a grown man that hasn't had much attention and got overly excited about the attention he was receiving, and then translated that as to, she want me. Yeah, she want me. She doesn't want you. Okay, she didn't want you. Listen, Charlotte out here all crying as well, as if she's crying tears for the fact. No, you're crying, sis. You crying tears because really and true. Yeah, I don't think you're not crying tears for Tyrone to leave. You're crying tears because you're in this position that you feel bad. You have to let man down. That's the reason why you're crying tears. Ain't because he's got to leave. It's because you're in a position where you have to be the one that decides it. Sis, send him home now. Send him home. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, you can send him home. All right. It was just too much, man. It was too much. I think, you got to have a level of composure. And when the man then come on to the live today, we'll ask some questions as well. You need to have a level of composure. Okay, you have to have a level of composure when these kind of things happen. You've got to be able to gauge who the other person is and where they are in their journey. You don't just say, I making when a girl want to marry me. We're not in that position. You don't know the person just yet, and then you cancelled out Sabrina early, and oh man, it was too much, man. And my thing for this as well is that my thing with him as well is that the fact that he was cutting off people so easily, so quickly too, right? He was cutting people off real quick. Yeah, he's cutting off people real quick, and the problem with that is, why am I so low? Hold on, sorry. He was cutting people off so quick, right? And then obviously we've got a situation where you're almost falling in love with Shiloh, right? That is a problem. That lets me know that you get way ahead of yourself without really deeping the scenario and the situation and the context of what's going on, right? And so unfortunately, Tyrone had to go. Okay, because you can't be out here put it on and make him marry me. You already know, Nessa. You understand? You already know. So yeah, he had to go. Yeah, he had to go. It was his time. He had to go. Okay, it was his time to go. Then we had KAMIL moving absolutely mad. Listen, KAMIL was moving absolutely mad. Okay, absolutely mad. And before I go to KAMIL, listen, you can get into conversation with people. Listen, if you conversate with me on the phone, I'll make you fall in love, baby. Okay, you conversate with me, baby. I'll make you fall in love. All right, let me stop that. Okay, cool. But you can catch feelings on the phone. Listen, you can catch feelings through the phone, guys. Okay, don't be fooled out here. You know what I'm saying? Some of you haven't even seen people on Instagram, their real faces, and you're falling in love. Listen, don't, you know what I mean? It can happen. Okay, it can happen. You just need to talk long enough and talk deeply long enough. And before you know it, you're duping it. You know what I mean? You're duping it. You know what I mean? And then before you know it, you're somewhere you shouldn't be. You know what I mean? Fall in love, baby. All right, cool. Then KAMIL. KAMIL on the mad thing, yeah. KAMIL on the mad thing. KAMIL on the mad thing, yeah. KAMIL on a mad thing, yeah. Listen, darling, listen, darling, listen, darling, yeah. Listen, darling, listen, darling. You can't be doing what you're doing here. You can't. You can't be doing it, darling. You wouldn't even let him breathe. You are now even telling people who are new to the program, that's my boyfriend. And my man won't be happy with that. I said, what do you mean your man? You haven't got a man. You haven't got a man here. The only man you know is woman. That's the only woman. That's the only thing you know. He's not your man. Okay? You don't know him yet. You are doing the exact same thing Tyrone's doing, where you're narrowing, putting all your eggs in one basket. And then not only that, you're smothering it. Just smothering him. The guy can't breathe. Okay? Like, he can't breathe. How do I breathe? You know, he can't breathe. He is literally choking, okay, on the fumes of KAMIL, because you won't let him free. You won't let him have space to talk to the women. And when he did speak to the women, you punished him. You know, you punished him. Nah, man. Nah, man. Nah, man. I'm not about it, you know. No, I'm not about it, you know. You know, and it was so bad. Cornelius was out here in the corner talking to Sydney, and he was so focused on KAMIL patrolling up and down the corridor behind them to make sure they're not going to be doing anything that she doesn't want them to do. You know, I said, "What the heck? What the heck is going on?" Like, you know, listen, darling, you are patrolling up and down, going up and down, up and down. The brother's even looking over his shoulder, not even want to connect with the new girl because he's scared. Huh? Cornelius, the guy was scared. He was scared to even have a conversation with Sydney, just in case he says something and KAMIL blows off the top. Come on now, baby girl. And I know you apologize, sis, but listen, the apology, yeah, does not restore the relationship. Let me say again, the apology doesn't restore the relationship. Now, this is where Cornelius Nelson needs to now be aware, sir. She has shown herself who she is. You need to take it and run. You need to take it, Cornelius, and run. Okay, no play, no no messing around. Just take the hint and get out of there. Don't mess around. Don't play around. Don't spend time trying to figure it out. We don't need to know why she is the way she is, sir. Get out. I think I better leave right now before I fall any deeper. Like, you need to get out, bro. Yeah. I know, you know, that KAMIL's got the body, yada, 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 yada. I know the body's mad. Listen, and I know she's a pretty woman. Listen, and she is. Listen, KAMIL's a pretty woman. Listen, don't get twisted. KAMIL's a pretty woman. You understand? I get it. I get it. You know, she's pretty. Yeah. But the thing is this, fam. No matter how pretty she is, bro, you cannot succumb to the spider's web. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Exactly. And this was also, do you know what? When she walked down the stairs with Frank, I was like, so if he did that, would she be on his neck? You know, would she be on his neck? Would she be cussing? She would be cussing. You know? So for me, I was like, no. I'm not about it, bruh. I'm not about it. Listen, KAMIL, we're gonna need you to chill. All right, we're gonna need you to chill. All right, you're doing the most, doing a lot. I need you to chill. All right, calm down. All right, and relax. He's not gonna run away from you. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, she's acting as if the food is running away from her or the man's running away from her. They're not running away from her, blood. Like, he's going to be there. Like, relax. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was concerning to see. Our brother was lost in the sauce. and I felt for him. I was like, yeah, brother, you're finished. She's got her claws into you now, and and then bro, you now, and this is where your boundaries need to be firmly in place. But do you know what? I also understand. Someone said a missing case. You know, you know. I get. I think also too, he might be playing the game a little bit. Might be playing the game a little bit. He might be playing a little bit of a game to stay on the show and stay as long as possible. Cornelius needs to go after someone like Mumen. That's more your speed. Mumen is there, sensible, kind girl who will love you and appreciate you. But you like them little baddies, don't you? You like them little baddies, don't you? You like them girls like them girls that are bad. Huh? You like them girls that sing, "Don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me?" You like them type of gal there, innit? We know he like them type of gal that be like, "Don't you wish your girlfriend was a freak like me?" Don't you? You like the toxicity, sir? Huh? You like toxicity? Because all Camille is offering to you right now is toxicity. All she's offering right now is toxicity. Sir, I need you to run. Okay? I need you to back up. It's a lot right now. It's a lot right now. Yeah. Cornelius doesn't know how to set good boundaries. It's even with Courtney. I just saw in the latest video, someone said, "Coach, what?" Listen, even with Courtney, he's not setting good boundaries, right? Courtney's all here doing thigh stretches with her hand, stretching his thigh muscles. She's out here massaging groin areas, and you are sitting there and you're realizing she's not going to follow suit and actually live a life of celibacy, which you should know anyway. That means now, bro, now you got to set pace. You got to set pace. You got to let them know. You understand that this is it. This is not it for you guys. That you're not about to be on it with Sonic Courtney. Okay. I'm just saying. You got to let Courtney go. Let it go. Let it go. Because she's all she's doing is pushing up on you more and more. And bro, your boundaries are being very much tested. Listen, the more she rubs the inner of your thigh, the weaker you will become. The Bible says kings have fallen to women. Listen, kings fall to women. Don't play with these women. They are more dangerous than they look. Okay? Don't let Courtney with her smile, Courtney with that sexy look, Courtney with that gorgeous figure, with those gorgeous locks in her hair. Don't let her take you down to the den. Don't let her take you down to the den, Kez. You understand? Don't let her take you down to the den, Kez. Yeah? You don't want to be embarrassed and you don't want to be taken for a mug. I'm telling you, you gotta be careful how you operate, man. Girl like Courtney, she knows exactly what she's doing. She'll take your soul. She'll take your soul, people. She will take your soul. Okay? Don't play with Courtney, okay? All right? We need you to just, we need you to chill, bro. Like it's mad. It's mad. Cornelius, stay strong, sir. Stay strong. Stay strong. Okay. Then we also have as well, we also have we have Frank, AISHA, and Shawn's situation. We see obviously with AISHA, she had a connection with Shawn, had some really good conversation, but we all know now they're not really gonna make it. We also had Frank talking to Sydney. Listen, can I just say this? Can I just say, for me right now, do you know what it was? Sydney is gorgeous. She's gorgeous. No, Sydney is just gorgeous. She's lovely. Okay. She is as delightful as a warm cup of tea, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like on a cold winter's day. All right. Yeah. Listen, Sydney is hot. Okay. She's hot like goose pepper. You know what I'm saying? She's hot like, soup that, Ghanaians cook. She's very, very nice. Very nice. But what's really nice about her is her energy. Okay. And energy is so important. Energy is so important. When she came in, she came with good energy. Not I'm coming to take your man energy, but she came in with I'm just good vibes. And you know, being around that, it really is it's endearing. It makes you want to be around her more. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm saying? Someone said I should calm down. I can't. Listen, when you see someone with the good energy, listen, let me be honest with you. On all the seasons, we had Adriana, we had Kyra. You guys know how I said I felt these people were good looking babes. Okay, very good looking babes to me. But when I see so far, what I see from Sydney is not just a good looking girl, but has a right temperament. She's energetic. She's vibes. You know what I'm saying? She smiles when she's talking. That is warm. So that's probably the difference. You know, Adriana was like that, but you know, you could tell that Adriana was trying to mash up your life. You know what I'm saying? Adriana, shout out to Adriana. You were amazing, but you're trying to mash up people's life. We could see that from early. Adriana wants to mash up your life. Okay, all right. I love Kyra. Kyra knows I got love for her, but Kyra out here not trying to choose anybody. Okay, so I appreciate the two of them for being absolute baddies on my screen. But when I see Sydney so far, just so far, good energy, feminine, warm. Thank you. Someone said it. Approachable. That's what I'm seeing. Okay, so you know she's a dangerous character, but it's only the first episode. It's only the first episode. It's only the first episode. Okay, it's only the first episode, so we don't know what's gonna happen. She might mash up the thing after. You get me? But she came in correct. She spoke to who she spoke to. She spoke to Frank. You know, she's a clever woman. She knows what she's doing. You know, she all rubbing up on Frank's shoulder like, oh, you know, you look good. I said, I said, darling, she's out here playing the games out here already. She's already doing shoulder rubs and arm rubs. Girl, you better relax, okay? You better relax. You better relax. Okay, y'all better relax. Yeah, so yeah, no, it was you listen, there was a mad thing out here because Frank Frank put that voice on. Listen, thank you. I was just about to say this that as much my guy, I see you cause yeah, no, just as much as we're excited about Sydney. That was one of my that was my only down thing about Sydney, that she said this is the first time she's been single. She's out here to break hearts. Man, them don't get too close. She's out here to break hearts, brother. Yeah. She's out here to break hearts. Okay, all right. Because the girl has not finished her single life. She just got into it. Man, them don't become a casualty in this place, man. Don't become a casualty in this place. Okay. And then we also had as well. You know, what's his name? What's her name? And sorry, you guys are saying about Aisha as well. She's a plant. What do you expect? Yeah, I agree. She is a plant. She is a plant. I'm not gonna lie to you. Aisha, you know, I said it on Maria's live. I said Aisha went up in my books. Now, you know, if you know, I said some wild things. I said, you know, I'm ready to be a baby father, you know, and look after some kids. Now, I ain't really, but I was just saying that as a compliment to say that, you know, she really has, you know, she has captured me. You know, Aisha captured me. The way she was speaking, the way she was very direct without being rude. She was direct without being, you know, aggressive or anything like that. She just was like, hey, look, you know, we need to see what the future's saying, and we need to know that, listen, in the next 5 years, how do you see it? Because, you know, let's keep it a buck. You know, I'm not here trying to have kids. I like that. You know, I said I like that. You know, I said, you know, she's not gonna waste nobody's time. And I appreciate that about her. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, Aisha was good, man, and she looked good. You know, she looked good. You know what I'm saying? She looked good. The blonde wig, the blonde weave, the blonde hair, the blonde extension, the way we would call it, it's looking good. Okay, it's looking good. Okay, so Aisha, keep it going, darling. You're looking nice. You understand? You're looking nice. All right, cool. And then we also had yes, I did say this as well, Daj. Yes, I've done a video on this. I literally did a video on this, and I said, did you see the difference? There is a massive difference between what Don Tut did for Kerry and what he did for Sydney. In fact, the brother was asking questions. He didn't run out of bars. He never ran out of bars. Never ran out of a 96. Nah, he didn't choke on this 8 Mile. No, he decided Wiles was knee deep in balls. He's gonna give her questions. Huh? Talking about how, you know, he's had the spiritual change and all of this stuff and how he's improved and all that stuff. I said, is it? Couldn't even give that energy to Kerry? Not even one bit of it. Not even one bit could you give that to Kerry? Huh? Donta out here, you know, coming strong. But it is what it is. Man, then when they don't fancy a girl, it is what it is, bro. That's how it comes out, brother. You understand? Yeah. That's it. Donta like certain way, you know. I'm not beefing him, bro. You know, I'm not beefing him. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm not beefing him. Now, my only thing is this. I think I saw in the next thing or whatever. Is he got 3 baby mothers? I'm gonna be honest with you. He shouldn't be on a show. If he's got 3 baby mothers, I don't think he should be on a show. Can I be honest with you? Can I be honest with you? If you've got 3 baby mothers, I don't think you should be on a show. It's just that simple. Because this is a show to Ready to Love, and he could be ready to love. But my thing is this, brother. Okay, if a woman had 3 baby fathers on the show, I'd be cussing. Like, why is she on the show? Like, no, this is not the show for you. No, baby, no, baby, no. So I don't know why we've got a man with 3 baby mothers on the show. You know, like, why? What? But no, sir. We need you at home. This is no beef to him. I just don't think it's this is not the best that we can offer. Right? The same way the honest truth is, when you've got multiple kids and a multiple baby father situation, you know, we say that, you know, the value of you, it tends to go a little bit down. You know, the value of you tends to go down. Do you know what I mean? And I say value in terms of how people are going to perceive you, because they're like, well, I don't know, I don't need, you know, to have a woman that's got 3 baby fathers. So if you've got 3 baby mothers, right? Yeah, your value. You're not the high value we're talking about here. And I'm not even talking about high value men. I'm talking about value men. You're not on that list. You're not on that list. No, I'll be honest with you, sir. You're not on that list. You're not on that list. He should be at home looking after the kids. Yeah, he should be at home looking after the kids. We're not doing this tonight. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm not feeling that, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I hear you. You know, Donta, you might have been a changed man or all that kind of stuff. It's lovely, but you don't need to be on the show. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're giving scraps to women. And listen, men or women, I don't like it, brother. Yeah, it's the same thing. When Alicia was on the show, I didn't like the same thing. You know what I mean? We're feeding people scraps. You know, we're feeding people scraps, brother. Do you get me? So yeah, for me, I wasn't about that life, man. I wasn't feeling him at all with that 3 baby mother situation. Do you get me? Someone said, I think Aisha's selfish with that kid perspective. I don't think she's selfish. No, she's not selfish. You know, she just doesn't want to have to go back to having a kid again. And I totally understand that. Fair play. She's had her kids. She wants to enjoy life now. Chop life. Let her chop life. You know. But no. Let him chop life. Let him chop life. Let her chop life. She wants to be able to enjoy herself. That is fair enough. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Go and chop life. We appreciate you. Go and chop life. You've looked after the kids long enough. No one will be settled down with another one. I hear you. And I think that's pretty much it. I think that's a roundup of everybody. I'm trying to think if anyone else was left out on who I was speaking, who was on the show. That's pretty much Phil. Okay, Phil, but Phil didn't. I didn't really see Phil much this episode, to be honest. But obviously, Phil's been brought up to see us talking about Phil. I don't know if he's gonna be really interested in that. I think he's got Shiloh, but he's gonna keep himself in the game, innit? You get me? Got to keep himself in the game. So, yeah, man. We're gonna have a real good conversation today. We'll get some panelists on now, and get the conversation flowing, and just see where we can go with today's episode, man. Because there's a lot that happened, a lot of different viewpoints. You get me? So, let's get these panelists on and get the conversation flowing, guys. I left it open. We've done 30 minutes, guys. No one came on, so we're straight on to super panel, guys. All right. So appreciate you guys. Please do not send me an email after this saying you want to be on the panel. I will ignore you. All right, cool. Let's get this show going. I've got a few people behind. I've got Reformed Jay. I've got I just got what she's just put there. We've got Corey as well. We've got Bree, and I'm sure a few others will be joining a little bit later as well. All right, let me get my people on the screen, baby. Hello, 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 hello. Yes. Majestic. Cameras are all on as well today. Got colors as well going on too. Got hair looking all diddy. People are looking all sweet and buff. My oh my, I've got our own little ready to love panel right here. Okay, cool. So listen. Sean, instead of you typing, you should be on here. You type a little bit. Get us here. We don't want to see you typing and chatting more. All right, listen. So I want to ask you guys questions. Sorry, I'm on one a bit loud there. Let me quiet it down a bit. All right, let's talk about today's episode. Okay, let me get your initial first thoughts. Just a quick minute summary. Your initial first thoughts of this episode. Just initial summary. First thoughts of the episode. All right, I want to get your perspective. Jay, if you get it for us.
What are we watching? That's the first thing I'm thinking. Like, what the heck are we watching? Okay. There's so many thoughts in my head on the madness or whatnot. I'm going to say this for sure. I know people are going to disagree with me. I'm going to actually have some positive things to say about Corey tonight, but it's not going to be what y'all think. Tyrone and Corey are kind of the same to me when it comes to a lot of things. Cornelius, brother, I fear for your life. I know Uno was talking about Aisha stabbing somebody. KAMIL gonna be the one that's gonna stab him. Okay, y'all just better watch out. Watch that brother. Keep him safe, please. You know, keep him a partner, a travel buddy, and everything, because he needs it right about now. KAMIL, sweetheart, you are bat crazy. Okay, that's all I can say to you. Shiloh, thank you for showing Tyrone how to exit a person off of the screen. You know, that was very nice of you, the way you did it. I mean, the tears was a bit much, but hey, you might be a bigger empath than I am. I don't know. Courtney, hot girl, summer girl. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where you're going. 1 minute you're level and the next minute you're in butterfly heaven with Corey. I have no clue what's going on. Shoot. Sabrina, sweetie, I need to see more of you. I don't know what's going on. New girl. I don't mean to call you new girl Sydney, but I need to see more of you. Yeah, we'll get into it on everybody else as we go and stuff, but I don't know. I got a lot of different thoughts though. I'm gonna wait to see what everybody else say.
No worries, appreciate that. Jay, let me go to Malaysia if I get you, because I know some. Let me get you involved straight away. Malaysia, talk to us. What's your thoughts just on this episode? Just a minute summary. What is your thoughts on this episode? So,
well, hello, you guys. It's been a long time. It's glad to be. I'm happy to be here. So I think this episode was all about Corey and KAMIL. I think KAMIL was doing way too much, and we got an opportunity to see how manipulative she could be, and that was very frightening to look at. The way she went from 0 to 100 at Corey for simply speaking to somebody else speaks to how severe her insecurities are, and it made me think of attachment styles, and perhaps she has a very anxious attachment style, and that is why she acts that way, and it's difficult for her to see people interested in the person she's interested in, because she thinks that the person will eventually take her person of interest away. But it's definitely not something to be applauded. It's not something to be praised. It's actually very, very despicable how she was acting. So that's that. And then for Corey,
The minute's gone.
I
Sorry,
am.
time's gone. Sis, time is gone.
Oh,
Sorry.
sorry, you guys.
No worries. No, it's all right. It's
Okay.
all right. I just want to keep it to a minute. I just want to keep it to a minute for everybody. No worries. You're good. You're good.
All
I
right.
appreciate it, sis. We'll bring you back on again. No worries. Let me go to Corey. Corey, talk to me. Minute summary. What's your just your initial thoughts of the episode? Just initial thoughts of the episode.
My thoughts on the episode was like us. I'm happy that I'm happy at how the ending came off, because now I feel a little bit less weight on my shoulder, because this Corey can now breathe. You know what I mean? I can now breathe. All in all, the episode, I feel like there was some moments of immaturity in certain parts of the episode. Some moments of lack of confidence. We'll be speaking about all of that. I have a lot of thoughts about this show. I'm happy, so happy that we're going to be able to dig into it today. So I keep my comments until the right time.
Beautiful stuff. Thank you, Cap. Appreciate you. I was going to say, Brittany.
What you laughing at?
All right, babe. Go for it.
Okay. So this episode, Kamil needs to relax. I don't know if she knows how to, though. She doesn't. Cornelius needs to run. I mean, before you even put that video up, I literally said, Cornelius, baby, I need you to run fast, quickly. Like, get out of town. Become a track star if you're not one, okay? Let's see. I like Sydney. She's a nice ad. There's nothing wrong with Alicia wanting to be done with kids. There's nothing wrong with that, especially after her explaining why. And yeah, that's about it for right now. I'll add more later.
No worries at all. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, Brittany. Bree, talk to us, man. Initial thoughts, minute long, just initial thoughts on the episode.
I'll say it's definitely getting better. I'm still still a little bit boring, but it did get better this week. I'm glad Corey's gone, because he needed to be gone the first episode. But I see kind of why they kept him there. The two new people, I'm interested to see their journey and who they connect with. And then for Kamil and Cornelius, I don't even have words for her right now. I just need her to calm down. But I'll just say that the episode is getting better, and so we'll see what goes from there.
Thank you very much, Bree. Appreciate that. Chris Natha, talk to us, sis. What's your thoughts? Minutes.
Sure. Hi, everyone. The
Glorious.
best part of the episode was Corey going home. I was so excited. It truly warmed my heart. So I am ecstatic that he is gone, because he is baby Troy to me. My other thoughts about the episode is Kamil. She is dangerous. I thought she was actually pretty abusive. Yes, I'm going to use that word. This episode, because she called Cornelius dumb. And she said more to that, but you guys could use your imagination. But it was just too much. She's claiming him as her boyfriend, and I don't recall them establishing that they were in a relationship. And so it's just too much. And then Tyrone, my thoughts of Tyrone is that I'm all for him feeling the way he feels about Shiloh. It's just that in this climate, that's not how it works. You have to get to know people. And so that was the reason he was sent home. But I'm glad he was honest, but you have to date multiple people. So those are my initial thoughts.
Thank you very much, Chris Natha. All right, Sean, what's your thoughts?
Sure. So I love this time limit, by the way. So anyway, listen, I think a couple of people took the wrong turn for the wrong show. So Tyrone made a left turn onto Matt. He thought he made a left turn onto the Maps production lot. So he should be on Married at First Sight. Camille, she missed the set of Snapped because that's definitely where she belongs. When it comes to Cornelius, I don't know where he needs to make a right turn to, but it's definitely to have better communication and set boundaries. I would say Sabrina, we didn't really see a lot of her, so I'm looking to see more. These two, Sydney, she took a right turn to my heart, and that's where I'm going to end.
Oh, bro, I hear you, bro. I hear you, bro. She's a spicy one and a good one too. So far, anyway, so far. Seaway, good to see you. You know, I want to keep you last because, you know, Sean passed the baton to you the other night, you know, when he passed the benediction. So I wanted to give you the chance to be on our last to say what your initial thoughts were. Go for it, Seaway.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Sean, for that. And I love the time limits too. So please cut me off if I'm running my mouth. Unless I'm getting into something good, you can cut me off, okay? But yeah, this episode is giving First 48. It's giving like throw the whole cast away. I mean, I really love it. Got entertaining, but it's definitely giving First 48. Between Tyrone, he looked like he's gonna put Shiloh in a trunk. And I said that 2 weeks ago when he was oversharing. He's giving something scary, okay? And I think that's why she was crying, but we're going to get into that later. She's probably in fear of her life. And Camille is giving, of course, like literally insane. I also want to know why Cornelius is so okay with this disrespect. I have a few theories, one of which I may not say on Kojo's channel, and then I got some other theories as to why he's so okay with this disrespect. It's definitely interesting. I'll let the chat put that together. And yeah, there's been some interesting connections. I like the new people. Tired of these bald heads. It's reminding me of my daddy.
Okay, thank you, Seaway. Thank you, Seaway. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Yeah. Bald heads. We love. I don't know. I mean, that's not for my business. The ladies might love the bald heads. You know what I mean? Don't listen to Seaway. She's married. Okay, don't listen to her. She's taken. All right, cool. Listen. Let's talk about. Let's dive in straight away. Right. Let's dive in straight away. Let's get into. Let's start strong. You know what I mean? Because obviously, 2 people got sent home last night. We had Corey and we had Tyrone get sent home. So let's start first and foremost with Corey. I want to get you guys' thoughts on his elimination. You know, what you thought about obviously how Courtney and MUMEN handled it as well. In fact, let me do it as a second question because I'm going to give time limits, so it's fine. The first one we'll do is your thoughts on his elimination, and then we'll talk about MUMEN and Courtney kind of finding out that they both were getting played, right? So your first thoughts on Corey's elimination. We're going to give you 3-minute time limit maximum. Guys, if you hit the 3, I'm just going to cut you off. Just down. Yeah, okay. All right. 3 minutes max. All right, cool. Who wants to go first for me talking about Corey? Who wants to go first? Who wants to go first? Or should I just choose? Thank you, Brittany, because I was going to choose the middle anyway. Thank you. Go for it, Brittany.
Okay. So, Corey, Mr. Copy and Paste. First of all, he copied and pasted into the wrong text message, right? He made that mistake. If you guys get what I'm saying here. He already said he'll take what he says and use it with one other person, and he did the same thing in real life this time. So he got caught. I mean, what else more is there to it? And I don't think he really thought his plan through. You can do a nice gesture like that for a woman, but do it when no one else is around, right? Like, don't have one girl. Well, don't have both of them in the same area, first of all. Because if I was MUMEN, I think that's how you say her name. I'm gonna be like, where my card at too? Why I ain't get no card? Like, it's not hard to pick up on something like that when you're doing a gesture like that for someone. And secondly, Corey acts like most men who think they're good players and they're not. You suck. Like, try again. No, actually, don't try again. Don't do it at all anymore. Like, and Corey gives me the kind of guy that wasn't picked when he was younger. Like, we've discussed this already, and now it's really showing. And he just needs some help. He's lacking in the area of dating. He don't know what to do. he's clearly been watching people, but never asked any questions on how to really, you know, approach a woman, how to date her, how to court her, and do it right. Or how to juggle multiple women at one time, because you can date multiple women at one time. It's not a problem with that. It's about how you do it. And everything that he talks about is about sex. Everything. He was asking her about a hot dog. What do you want to put on your hot dog? I said, sir, are you kidding me? What kind of question is that? And I'm only saying it. Everything is surrounded around sex because everything he's done, or everything, most of the things he's mentioned, it's been about sex. Like, it's been very sexual. And no woman wants to deal with that every single second of the day. Honestly, to me, he does a lot of creepy movements. I don't like how he moves, and he denies, and he said it. He deflects. Deflection, deflection, deflection. That is all he knows how to do. He's not accountable for anything that he says. So, I mean, I really can't say Corey gotta get it together. He just needs to go all the way back to go and take his $200 away, take all his properties away, because he deserves nothing right now when it comes to dating. He needs to learn himself and then go back out there. So that's what I got for him. Corey's a hot mess, though. I'm glad he's going, because he makes people, well, women, I'll say, uncomfortable.
I appreciate it, Brittany. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let me ask someone else to jump in here. Let me get Corey on. Corey, you know, Corey, you know, he was moving a bit mad, and obviously he's been eliminated for it. What I want to ask this, maybe a different question to you then. Where are the improvement points for Corey then? You know, what does he need to work on if he's to get past the first date? If I can ask that question.
I would say that Corey needs to work on listening first. A lot of women are telling him the same thing, but for some reason, he's feeling that whatever they're saying is not true. You know, it's not him. He feel like what he's doing is right, and it's the furthest thing from the truth. So countless times, women telling him, "Hey, you're going about this the wrong way." Even sitting down close to being eliminated, they're telling him you're doing the wrong things. He's continuously doing the same thing over and over again. My thing for Corey is there have been plenty of opportunities to say this is the reason why Corey should be eliminated. But for this episode, for me, the reason he should be eliminated for all Black men across the world, you don't play with your mama. You don't play about women meeting your mother. That is something that's serious. It's something that's sacred. I don't play about that. So if I'm dating this woman, that woman, whatever, the last thing I'm going to do is tell you I'm going to invite you to meet my mom. Now, I think that he uses that as a way to get himself out of trouble, because with MUMEN, that's exactly what he did. And she went for it. Sad to say she went for it. For him to say, hey, I want to take this to the next level. I want you to meet my mom. She just caved in from that point. So he knows that's something that women understand from us is something that's very sacred. So to me, I think that Corey has a lot to learn. He has a lot to learn about not playing people's emotions. He has a lot to learn when it comes to development, self-development, and being sensitive to the possibility of hurting someone else, because he has these women thinking that they're both number one, talking about I like both of them. He doesn't like both of them. Ladies, anytime a man tells you that you are one of two people that he's into, one of more people he's into, the first person he chooses to do the act of kindness for, that is who he's into. He didn't choose MUMEN to do that for. He chose Courtney. So Courtney is his primary focus. But all in all, I'm happy he's gone. He has a whole lot to learn to do. So I'll let everybody else pick up from there.
Love that, Captain. Thank you very much. Good points there. Good points. Love that. Bree, let me get your thoughts here, man. What's your thoughts around Corey finally being evicted from base? Why do you think it took the ladies so long to evict Corey?
I think that they were holding out on hope that, okay, maybe he's not what I really think he is, but deep down inside, they did know the type of dude he was. And because he did some nice gestures for them, helping MUMEN with her car and then giving Courtney flowers at the skating rink, I think that probably kind of overshadowed their judgment about him, per se. But my overall thoughts with Corey is I am glad that he's gone. I just think he's too old to be acting the way he is. You would kind of think he's like maybe 25, 26, and he's really 40. I do think he really does want to be with someone. I do think that, like, deep down inside, but the way he goes about it is just totally off. I don't know if he's really trying to impress women. And just like Brittany was saying, like, maybe he doesn't have no game back in the day. And so now he feels like he's something right now. But those are my thoughts on him. I'm glad he's gone. I do think he needs to mature and develop and really date well. And it's a shame that, you know, Courtney and MUMEN was kind of giving him a chance when they really should have just never even talked to him in the beginning. So that's kind of my thing on him.
Appreciate that. Really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Chris Natha, what's your thoughts around Corey, you know, and his particular baby? I know he finally got evicted, but what's your kind of thoughts around him?
Well, regarding his eviction, I agree with Corey Black that you don't play around, joke around people meeting your family. That's a very important step in a relationship. And I think he was just trying to get the women to get their guards down. And so I don't think that that was funny. And another thing, the fact that he doesn't think that these women talk to each other. Like, why would you think that the same way you guys come together, don't you think the women come together and talk? I don't know how you thought you were going to keep copying and pasting things and nobody was going to notice. I'm surprised these women were actually taking him semi-seriously. I'm shocked about that, especially Courtney. I was like, really? MUMEN, I don't know. I kind of expected it. She seems very open, like she's open to everybody in a way, which could be good and bad. But Courtney, I was actually surprised a bit that she actually took him somewhat seriously, I guess because of those little love notes that he was planting everywhere. But I'm excited about his exit. It could not have come quick enough. So super excited that he's gone. It was clear that he was not ready to love. And that he's a joke. He's a joke. He's not serious. It's time. If you're 40 plus and you still can't get to a second date, you don't know how to listen, you don't know anything about yourself enough to really start removing the layers to really show yourself. If you want a serious relationship, that's what it's going to take. If you want to keep playing around and keep going on first dates, then you can keep doing what you're doing. But I'm extremely excited and happy to see his exit.
Love that, Chris Natha. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Sean, let me get you involved, bro. Like, question, you know, with this Corey situation, why do you think he got away with it for so long, bro?
Well, I think his goofiness, some of the ladies said earlier, they weren't taking him seriously. And then I think also it seems like some of the ladies saw him as attractive. So that gives you a little bit of a longer leash. If you are attractive, you get a little bit, you get a couple more chances to try to disprove what they are kind of seeing. So that's what I think about him, but definitely glad to see him go. You know, the clownish behavior, you know, again, moving mad in terms of people's personal space. He had like MUMEN pinned down in the pool while he was having that ridiculous conversation about what topping she wants on top of a Frank. Like, come on, bro. This is just dumb grade school level conversation that he's having. So definitely glad. I thought they were just going to, if they kept him on, I'm like, all right, they just want to see the buffoonery continue throughout the season. So, but glad he is definitely been called out and gone.
Love that, Sean. Thanks very much. Appreciate it. Seaway, what's your thoughts around Corey initially? I mean, he got evicted finally now. So what's your thoughts around Seaway's situation? Around Corey's situation. Sorry about that.
Yeah, someone said in the comments that Corey is ready for therapy. I definitely think he is. He is definitely the type of person that will lie to your face. Not lie, but like pretend or maybe lie or just act like he has no idea what you're talking about, like he was trying to do with MUMEN. And I just think he just didn't take this process seriously. He stayed on here so long because he was entertaining, He was good for production. He kind of made us laugh. We were laughing at him more than with him. But yeah, I think he just never took this process seriously. Even when he found out he was going home, he was like, "Yeah, I'm going home. Yeah, I'm going home." He didn't really care. So I think he honestly just needs to grow up and try to figure out why he's stuck in this childish state, because he thinks this whole thing is a joke. And that shows a bigger problem, that he thinks this is all like a key. Like, he wasn't serious. He was like, "Oh, I got sent home. You know, I knew my game was gonna run out at some point." It's like, I don't know what he's looking for, if he's gonna go through the next 10 years of his life playing around. But I hope for him, if he really does want love deep down, he figures out like why he's so childish. Because this whole thing was childish. It was entertaining to watch, but that's his real life, and that's just kind of weird. So I'm happy he's going home, because he's overgrown to be acting like that. So that's kind of all I got. And, you know, MUMEN, I think why MUMEN and Courtney lasted so long or wanted him so long is because, again, like I said last week, a lot of men don't do kind gestures. And his smallest gesture really had let him stay on the show for an extra week, even though he clearly was childish and acting like a teenager. But that's because people, I guess it's hard out here. People aren't doing nice things for women. So I think that's why he left it. So.
Yep. Hey, listen, that's a whole question in itself right there. Whether men are actually doing nice things for women, that's a real thing right there, you know. But I'm hearing you right there, Siwe. I'm hearing you right there. Reformed player Jay, talk to us, man. You know, as our sister Siwe said, you know, maybe, you know, men are not doing much nice things. Leading on from that conversation, do you think that there probably isn't a lot of men doing nice things? That's why MUMEN and you know, Courtney have maybe seen Corey in a different light, or were they just bamboozled by those abs that he had, and you know, the fantastic skin that he has as well? You know, he's a good-looking guy. You know, you can't hate on the brother. He's a buffoon, but he's a good-looking guy. You know what I mean? What are you saying, Jay?
I think the ladies are just lost in the sauce of their attraction. There are men out here that will show chivalry and do nice things for you. I don't know about the DC area. I'll just put it like that. I have not had no problem with men doing things for me. That's just me. Okay. You know, but I don't know. Anyways, Corey, the cable guy, we don't have to hear him recite another movie quote. So thank you for that. You know, I'm going to say Corey is a player, but he's not an all-star. See, what I say is this: Corey has his own game. He knows how to play on a certain team and play his position. In this setting, Corey's game don't work. The women are too close to each other. They're around it. They're like literally talking to each other. In the open world, though, Corey's game will work. Trust me, it will work, because the women will never see each other. He can sit there and say the same thing and all this, and nobody can compare notes to each other. So I can see how he is 100 first dates or whatever. He has a nice personality. He is charming. He is very up on you, a little too much. We spoke on that enough, but he has a way around. If women are not next to each other, he's good. He's the type of brother that will have one family on one side of the town and another on another side of town. That's Corey. Okay. He is evasive enough that the women fill in the blank for him. So therefore, he's not lying. He actually didn't lie to the woman. He actually did, like he said, tell his truth. Now, his truth was repeated over and over to the women. He did deflect the heck out of when they asked him a question. He was never direct. But did he lie? No. He told each woman that I want to take you to the parents. Now, I know it's wrong to play with your mama and all this stuff like that, but some mamas and some families support this bad habit. So Corey might just be taking women to the parents all the time. Who knows? I just watched a whole meme the other day of a man texting his mama each girl that he brought to the house name. So she said a name and make the girl feel special. So I don't know what type of family Corey has. Okay. All I'm going to say is I'm going to apologize to the fraternity people that I compared him with, because y'all over there trying to get your education and live your life while this fool is making y'all look bad on national TV. Because a real player would have been able to work the room, work each situation, and make sure each girl felt special in her own way. And an even realer player would have been able to say, hey, we in a process where I'm dating a bunch of people. It's your choice if you want to stay or not. You know, but that's just my thoughts on it.
Thank you very much, Jay, for that. Good thoughts. Good thoughts. All right, cool. So that was initial kind of thoughts around Corey's situation. Now I want to be a bit more specific and home it in a little bit. Corey obviously then, got caught out with MUMEN. He had a conversation with MUMEN, and he was doing header deflections. Sorry about that, guys. He was doing header deflections concerning when she, questioned him about the notes that were left around at the pool party situation. So I wanted to kind of get your thoughts around that conversation with with MUMEN and Corey, and get your kind of thoughts around that. If you can add some insight, fantastic. If you've been in that situation, let's hear some thoughts around that. Maybe you've experienced a man, doing the deflection technique, or maybe you had a woman doing the deflection technique. Let's get some personal experiences in there and some different angles to what you felt about that scene where MUMEN questioned Corey about his particular behavior. All right, cool. Let me get Bree in there first. Bree, what are you telling me, baby?
Dag, I was hoping I wasn't gonna go first.
Every time you're hoping to go first, that's why I'm gonna get you first, girl. Don't worry.
Okay, that situation, what do I feel about it? Okay, when she asked him a few times, I think that should have just been it. You said it twice, but her kept her trying to keep trying to get an answer out of him. She should have just known. She should have just deaded it and be like, he full of crap, and I'm just gonna move on from this situation. Corey is not a good liar at all. Even a deflector. I actually thought it was funny watching that scene. I'm just like, this just can't be real life. This is a joke, especially at these ages. It was ridiculous. I feel like MUMEN, had he had given her an answer, I do feel like she would have still probably tried to date him. It was she wanted him to tell her no, that wasn't me. She was just kind of holding out for some hope with him, and I guess trying to tell herself, no, he's not really that way. He really is a good guy, when she knows he wasn't. I just think if you say it twice, and if you have to say it again, just don't even bother anymore, because he's not going to give you the answer. And I don't know. I really don't even have thoughts for that. I just thought this scene was funny to me. And there was no need to keep going back and forth, asking him the same question when he's not going to answer. So that's kind of my thoughts, basically on that scene.
Thank you very much there, Bree. Appreciate that. Thank you. Let me get Seaway. Let me get you in. Seaway, what's your thoughts around the scene where Corey is doing deflection techniques? The brothers, she's asking very direct questions, and he's doing neo business with what she's saying. What was your kind of thoughts around that? Have you ever experienced that yourself? Have you ever seen that before? Talk to us a little bit.
I actually had a capo do that to me. Actually, now that since Corey is what I think, Corey. But yeah, no, I feel like most women, if you haven't gone through that experience, you're pretty darn lucky. Definitely had a guy from my childhood that followed me all the way through my 20s, and I finally kicked him a long time afterwards. And you could ask him a question, and you would never get a direct answer. And you ask again, and you just get all this ring around the rosy. And then that Hail Mary was triggering too about the meet the mama, because it's as soon as you catch them in the lie, they'll be a guy would be like, man, and you acting up, and I was just about to take you to meet my mama, or I was just about to take you on a trip. Now you done messed that up. It's just manipulation. And I don't judge MUMEN, because honestly, I can't judge if I've been there. I've literally been there myself, because when you really want something to work, you try to work with these type of manipulative people. And unfortunately, at one moment, and MUMEN got it, she got there. It takes people time, but something clicks, and you're like, this person is a lying manipulator, and I'm not going to get a straight answer from him, so let me just give up. So yeah, that whole scene, his Hail Mary, let me meet my mama thing. There's so many men out there doing that. And that's just their own personal demons, and they just project that in their interactions with women. And our job is to kind of try to dodge these people as best we can. So definitely been there, definitely felt for MUMEN, and I definitely wish, like I said before, that Corey would grow up, because these tactics are a mess. And he wasn't even good at it. He looked like a fish out of water. So
I'm with you on that, Seaway. Yeah, he was not smooth at it, man, at all, man. It looked like he was, he was just entering the matrix and just learning about some of the movements he had to make. You know what I'm saying? He's more Morpheus level, not Neo. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't smooth, So I'm hearing what you're saying. All right, cool. Let me get Jay. What's your thoughts around this? I mean, talking about obviously the situation with Corey and MUMEN, the deflection he was doing, is that dark arts, or what's your kind of thoughts around that?
If he was a little bit more skilled at it, yes, it would be dark arts. Usually when you deflect, you want to deflect to a whole nother conversation, a whole nother everything. You just don't even want to talk about that no more. But he was I'm gonna take you to see my mom. Wait, brother, you done stumbled all upon it and stuff. She done brought you back to it. You almost got away. Like you might as well have just got up and left at that point. It was a level of immaturity that was going on. But the one thing he had when he sat there, it just was like, I want you to meet my mom. It's just like, how did we get here or whatnot? You just backed into a corner, your dog in the corner. Now you're going to bite your way out by using your mom to do this. This is the funniest thing I've ever seen right now. And she fell for it, though. That was the crazy thing. So I can't even be mad at him like I want to be, because it was just like a softening of her, like, oh, you're going to take me to see my mom? I thought she was just going to be like, okay, yeah, bro. Anyways, about these notes still. Like, you just changed the subject. And then the same thing happened with Courtney. He did the same thing with her when she brought it up, and she was like, oh, okay. She gave him 5 minutes. He's like, let me get 10. I'll give you 5. He's like, did you get my notes? She's like, oh, yay. I'm back in love. Like, I don't get it. So I can't even be mad at him, because he finds the women that are going to fall for it and stick to those women. You didn't see him really doing this too much with anybody else that he couldn't get away with it with. So when he got to Courtney and it's just like, oh, I thought you would defending me or whatnot. It's like, hey, I don't know what he was thinking on that part, brother. It's just funny. I wish I could take him under my wing and just really show him how to maneuver through a room, but he too grown for me to deal with. So, hey.
I hear you on that. Jay. Hear you on that. Okay. Let me get Sean. Let me get you involved, bro. What's your thoughts, man? He out here deflecting and them things there, man. What are you saying?
So yeah, like you mentioned dark arts. It's like light arts, because he's playing, right in front of their face and doing all his tricks in daylight. You're dropping, he played this whole game where he's dropping love notes, but he's leaving them out for everybody to see. So what was your intention? Did you not understand what you were doing? Like, I just question his mentality, because I'm not sure if you are trying to date and give multiple women the same impression, and then you put love notes all around different places and in a day pool party. So he's just not that. He's less than smart when from what I see. And I think he just is one of those people that's like a caricature of himself. So he doesn't know the difference between himself and the person that he wants to project to be. So he plays in this pretend never land. And I'm not sure if he's connected to reality. And that's unfortunate, because sometimes people, feel like they have to play a character to be accepted or to be liked. And this is not a character on a show, but a character in his real life. So I hope he sees himself and sees how he really looks, because not everybody gets the chance to see how they play out in real life. So I hope he sees that and really realizes that it's just ridiculous. Bro, you're grown. You are out here not even smooth with the lies. It's just lie on top of lie on top of lie on top of lie. And then you don't even know how to finesse. So it's just an embarrassment. So at the end of the day, I think he needs to really get to who he is authentically and be comfortable with that, right? So if he's a geek, or if he's a nerd, or if he's the quirky kind of dude, just be that. Be it, and there's going to be someone that likes you because you're authentic and not faking, trying to be a player from the Himalaya. We got one of those already, and it's Jay, right? And she's even reformed. So, find yourself, bro. That's what find a mirror and find yourself. That's what I see when I see him.
Appreciate that, Sean. Appreciate that, Sean. Love for that. Yeah. All right, cool. Corey, talk to us, man, bro. On this, man. You know, what you saying, man? Deflection with MUMEN. What you saying?
Yeah, to me, I think that the whole thing with MUMEN and Corey, that deflection, and for her to still buy into it, it says a lot about her. I do blame her for it because she said she came to the show knowing this about herself. She said, I keep falling for the same red flags. So she knows this about herself while she continues to do it. So I think that she needs some type of assistance, some type of help herself with being able to strongly identify these red flags and have the strength to turn away from them. Now, Corey is very, very slick. He's a slick player. I agree with what Jay said. If he was outside this show, he will be winning. He has been winning for so long. So the way these women are saying that, hey, you're the problem, is the problem is within him. So because of that, he doesn't see it because he hasn't had anyone to confront him, to catch him in this way. So he's going to continue to do the same thing after this show, man, because he don't see anything wrong. And he actually really thinks he's ready for love. That's the sad part. He really thinks that by doing this type of behavior that he's ready for love. He's going to keep setting things on fire till he meets that wrong woman and that woman does something to him from hurting him. So from hurting her. So to me, I think that he just has a lot of growing to do all around. Corey is just one of those guys you just don't even want to be associated with. Even as a man, you don't want to be associated with a guy like this. I don't like it.
Sorry there, Corey. I just had to show you the love that's happening in the chat, man. But I heard exactly what you said, bro. I'm hearing you, bro, and they're hearing you too, bro. I think some people got their beats in their ears, bro. So you gotta be careful, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna be falling for you, bro, just by hearing your voice. So chill a little bit, you know what I mean? Race, you got race. Oh, don't do that, bro. How you gonna laugh like that, bro?
I don't. You know what's funny? I appreciate it, but I don't look in the chats when we're talking. So when you bring it up, it'd be funny. So yeah, that's hilarious, man. Well, I appreciate the love. I'm gonna drop my clubhouse room number in here. So.
You need to, bro. You need to. No word of a lie, bro. But I heard you, bro, and you're speaking sense here, bro. You're speaking sense. Well, I think he has been working for him. That's why he's still doing it. The women need to be aware and be alert to his game. But I think he showed his hand today. He showed his hand, and he showed his hand that he's not even that smooth. So although he's saying when it comes to even lying, he's not a smooth manipulator. And he's got a baseline. He doesn't do the lying stuff. Right, his baseline is I just omit certain information, or I tell you half truths, or I do what we call it almost like calling a bluff. It's like I'm gonna tell you the truth, and it's gonna be so wild you're gonna think, am I lying? It's the truth. Like, yo, I want to take you to see my mom. He really does want to take you to see his mom. He ain't lying. He gonna take you to see his mom. But he's playing at the same time. So yeah, I mean, he's showing us why he only goes past the first date, I think, on this occasion as well. Okay, cool. Really quickly as well, I wanted to.
I didn't answer, Trojan.
Oh, you didn't answer? My bad, Brittany. Sorry, Brittany. Go for it.
Am I forgettable now? Oh my gosh!
Oh,
wow.
No.
I must need to work on something.
Babe. My bad, babe. No. My bad. Sorry. Go for it.
No, okay. So I mean, pretty much to what everyone has said. The reactions that the two of them have, it's a reflection of themselves. MUMEN, I've been her, and so I understand it. And it takes time to recognize stuff like that. And when you get tired of your own mess, and when you're tired of your own mess, you'll start to get to know who you are and what you don't like. And once you understand that, there's a certain line that you don't want to allow to be crossed anymore, right? Or there's certain things that you're not going to want to deal with. So I know me now. After I asked Corey that question maybe twice, because I want to give him I just want to see if you want to answer. If you don't answer, I would have been got up. I would have been like, great, thank you. I got what I needed. This was a nice talk. However, this is not going to work. And then I would make my way out the door. And he can continue to grapple and try to get me to stay, but I'll be like, don't touch me, leave me alone, and I'm out. In a nice way, though. Because it's like, for what? Because the things that Corey does, it's very much a back and forth thing with the mind. And I'm sitting there like, all right, this is too much. And his answers it wants me to give the reaction of like, what? Like, this is really wild, especially when he was grabbing for the straw of meeting the mama. I'm just like, where did it come from? You want me to meet your mother? So that's him grabbing for straws, trying to grab at things to keep her there. It did for a second. But you could see her in her mind trying to figure out and understand, like, what is this man talking about? And see, let me tell you something. God don't create confusion. I'm not sitting there for no confusion. I can't deal with confusion anymore. So I'd rather be by myself. I could do bad by myself. And he can do what he got to do where he is. And I'm going to go mind my business where I'm at. So don't nobody got time for the things that Corey is doing. I mean, some do until they understand who they are. And once, like I said, once you come to an understanding of you will then understand your worth, and you will get up and leave because you don't have time to waste. You cannot get time back. Time is very valuable. And if you can't give me the answers I want, truthfully, then we just ain't meant to be. And that's okay. I still love you from a distance. You still my brother, and and God and everything. But however, this is not gonna work. It's not gonna work. And Corey gotta do better with his responses.
Appreciate that, Brittany. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Don't worry, you won't be forgotten again. I appreciate that. Yes, so good round of conversation actually around Corey. You guys gave me some good points there as well. I think we tied him up quite nicely. I know Courtney kind of shredded him a little bit towards the end as well. He was doing his whole heap of madness there too. But I think we concluded with Corey enough. We're gonna let him pass at this point. So I want to talk about another person who also was evicted. Let's talk about Tyrone now, because I'm sure you guys have opinions on this situation. Tyrone was also evicted, and I want to get you guys' point of view as to why you're evicted. I want to get on one as well. Why you think Tyrone was evicted? Was it a fair decision? Did you think he should have been evicted? Like, if he was evicted, why do you think he should have been evicted? Do you know what I mean? I want to get some thoughts and insights from you guys and girls as well. I shouldn't say guys and girls, ladies and gents. Let me say that. All right. Okay, cool. So let me start with Onu, since you are just joined us. I want to get your thoughts. Tyrone evicted. Right choice?
I'm not mad at Ty. I mean, I'm not gonna say it was the right choice. I don't think he deserves to go home. I understand it's a game. I understand why he went home. I'm not going to defend. I'm not going to defend him. I'm not going to defend their decision for sending him home. I think he went about the show the wrong way. Again, I think a couple weeks ago, I liked certain moments of Tyrone in the show. I thought he showed sense of maturity, but again, I don't think the show is best for him in the long run. The issue, if he made it uncomfortable for other people to be on the game show, and again, if this is a game, I get why he's going home. So I've kind of rewatched it. I've kind of accepted it. What I don't like is the fact how open it looks like Tyrone's very open and transparent with the woman he was talking to. Is the reason why he's going home is him being super open versus him being coy and playing the game. That's the key thing. I don't think he was playing the game as other people were. I think he was there to see who he could actually see a future with. He actually identified those people. He actually pursued those people. He was very open with what he had to say, and is now backfiring on him because of the game. Honestly, Tyrone, if this was real life, I could see how Tyrone would want to see this coming. It makes sense. I've been in the Tyrone situation. If I was Tyrone, I would told him to calm down. Take a minute, breathe the situation and pull things out. Because again, it's only been a couple days or a couple weeks, and he's out here progressing his love now from 3 people to 1, and he's telling everyone this is the person he wants to be with. I think it was very mature of him. Did it make the other people uncomfortable? It looks like it did, or it made it to the point like, you know what, there was no way to keep him on the show and still pursue talking to other people. I think that's what it boiled down to. What my main issue was like, we seen Tyrone and his vulnerability. Shiloh's saying, you know what, she wants to go through the process, which is fine. What happens to at the reunion if Shiloh isn't talking to somebody else, or she finds out that no one really wants to talk to her? Then what was the whole point of this? I'm not sure what the right or wrong way would have been for the show, but like in real life, it's just like, you know what? I don't see how dishonest Tyrone was up to that point. The issue was he was over exuberant in his proclamations of who he wanted to be with, and that person kind of didn't take care of his heart, his feelings as best as she should.
Appreciate Captain. Right on time. Thank you very much. Yeah. Okay. I'm hearing you. You're saying that you're saying that might not necessarily have been the right choice to send Tyrone home, but you get it. Okay. I hear you. All right. Cool. Chris Natha, I haven't heard from you in a little while, baby.
Hey, Kojo.
Hey.
Well, for Tyrone, I commend his honesty, right? He was super honest about liking Shiloh and even saying that he could see her as his wife. The problem is in this process, that's not how this works. Usually when you put all your eggs in one basket, when you kind of say, I'm only sticking to this person, the problem is no one else gets to know you. No one else gets to explore whether or not you can have a connection. Therefore, when they're making a group decision on who's going home, more than likely it's going to be you. And so with Tyrone, no one else was going to get to know him in that way, because he made it clear to every woman that I want Shiloh. The problem is Shiloh didn't say she wants Tyrone. And I know, Ona, you referred to it as a game. Is it a game show? Because it is also Ready to Love. So are they even ready to love if it's a game show? I'm not sure. And so I don't know if it really is a game show, then that it may explain a lot, because a lot of people don't seem ready to love. However, I think with Tyrone, this just wasn't the right environment for him. But I commend him being honest, being focused. However, in this environment, you have to get to know people. Even if he really did have Shiloh as one of the main people that he was connected with, if he had just held that closer to his chest and still got to know other people, maybe he would have stayed around longer. But because he professed his love, everyone knew that he pretty much was off limits. He was closing everybody off. Carrie's gone, right? She liked him. She's gone. So that's it, you know? So yeah, I commend him for being honest. It's just with the environment and the way that this show works, that's just not the way to maneuver through the episodes. So just not the right show for him. So I hope he finds love. I'm not sure if it's going to be Shiloh or not, but I hope he finds someone who appreciates him. So
appreciate that, Chris Natha. Appreciate it. Before I ask the next person to talk, hey, audience members, do me a favor, please like the live. All right, it just helps with the algorithm as well, and it makes you appreciate the fact that you guys are liking what we're doing here. I know you do comment and stuff. Just like the live if you're in here as well. It helps with the algorithm. We appreciate you. Number 2, also, guys, I've been putting little polls in there. And the last poll that we just had, I asked a question. I said, have you ever experienced a Corey and MUMEN type of situation where the person deflects from the question? And there was 265 votes here, and 75% of people said yes, they have. That's 3/4. That's a lot of people who've experienced that type of behavior. So clearly this is something that's not unique. People are experiencing this type of behavior where people deflect from answering questions. That should be a signal to those of you who got shifty behavior. Stop being shifty, okay? Because we're experiencing it too much. All right, let's move the conversation further again. We're still talking about Tyrone. We've had Onu, we've had Chris Natha now speak as well. Let me get Seaway. Seaway, what's your thoughts on this? You was typing in the chat there, so do you want to repeat what you were saying there? You can say I see where you was going with that.
I just feel like as women, especially nowadays when you have all this crazy stuff going on and violence against women. You have to be very careful with your discernment meter. And Tyrone, I feel like I have the gift of discernment. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but I'm pretty good at reading people. Tyrone is giving scary vibes. And I'm going to say that for a few reasons. He attached him. First of all, he has very unnatural interactions with people. That in and of itself doesn't necessarily make him scary. He could just be awkward, right? But then it goes a little further. And now he's attaching himself to a woman that he says on the show that he hasn't even gone on a date with. They've just been chit-chatting on the phone, and now he's professing his love to supposed interest because he's talking to Sabrina. And he's telling Sabrina that he wants Shiloh to be his wife. Okay, and then if that isn't weird enough for everyone, which it should be weird enough for, I can't speak to men in the chat. You guys are not in danger like we are. We have to be very particular when men are moving funny. Because men nowadays, they put tracking devices on your car. When men have weird interactions with you, you need to be careful. I'm not saying he is doing this, but I'm just saying you have to be careful when things are not adding up. Then her reaction says everything you need to know. Why is she crying? You could say she's crying because she feels bad. I feel like she was crying because she's stressed. And she knows that now this man is telling everybody that I'm his wife. And I haven't even got a chance to have these type of interactions and feelings with him and then her like desperate need. I feel like she told the ladies in the back, hey ladies, I know we got to send Corey home because he's a buffoon, but we need to send Tyrone home too because he's making me uncomfortable. He done said I'm his wife and we ain't even connecting like that. I feel weird because nothing else makes sense about why she's crying and why she's sending him home in this like kind of urgent manner. I just feel like the whole thing was weird. I hope that, Shiloh is good later on and he's able to move on if she doesn't end up liking him. But it's just really astounding to me that even Sabrina, instead of being okay that Tyrone has attached himself so oddly to Shiloh, Sabrina's over here like, why don't you want me? Girl, why do you want this crazy man to want you? Like, I don't get it. To me, it's painfully obvious that there may be something off. But I don't know why it's not obvious to everyone else. It's very obvious to me. And that's my thing. I think if you see ladies, you see people like Tyrone, just pay them extra attention. Just give them some extra love. Just keep your head on a swivel. It's very important for us to do that.
Thank you very much for that, Seaway. Yeah, and you know what? You brought up really good points. I know it's different for us men than it is for women in terms of safety. So I want to be able to honor that, and I think it's an important segue that you've made there, because I was concerned too about the professing of love very, very quickly. That is possessive kind of vibes. And yeah, I get what you're saying straight away. You know what I mean? I can see how you can see that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So, Mandem, please stop being weird, all right? Because it's not a good look at all. And secondly, do you know what? I think we should, maybe we can touch on that a little bit later on about the safety of women as well, because that is also a very big part in this dating game as well. And I think it'll be a good point to touch upon, especially as we have a majority of my audience are women as well. So, thank you for that. See, we're bringing that up as well. But let me get one of the Mandem involved and get their kind of views. Corey, you put your finger up. Fantastic. Go for it. I mean, they're begging to hear your voice again, bro.
Yeah, I understand where Seaway is coming from. I really do. But I want to look at the other side of the coin. We know something that the other women don't know. We know he has PTSD. We know about his background with his mother. So I have to take that into account as well for his behavior. Tyrone, to me, seems like a old school type of guy. You remember hearing those stories about grandparents who dated for a week, got married, and stayed married 40 plus years? He comes off as that type of guy. He's very vulnerable. And a lot of people today in relationships are not as vulnerable as Tyrone. Now, I'm not so much taking up for him. I'm just saying where his head is. He knows exactly what he wants. When he sees it, he goes for, he can point it out. A lot of people are not that self-aware to be that way. So I'm not saying he's doing something right or wrong. I'm just saying look at the other side of the coin when it comes to Tyrone, because we know something that the other ladies don't know. And we have to take that into account. I feel that Tyrone is the type, he does not want to play with women's hearts, feelings, complete opposite from Corey. He sees someone he likes, he's into him, and he gives him his undivided attention. So that comes from him seeing his mom bring guys in and out of the house. He does not want to be that type of guy. I respect that from him. So it's a lot of things about Tyrone that I respect. I don't think he was ready for this show. I agree with that. I do not think he was ready for this show. And I just think that if everyone knew his story, there would be a little bit more patience with him when it comes to this. I don't know how he's going to take this moving forward, but I just wanted to talk about the other side of the coin when it comes to Tyrone.
Cool. Love that, Corey. Sorry, my phone died as my camera, but it will come back on in a second. Good points there too. I love the contrast in views there as another aspect of seeing it as well. Brittany, why are you looking at that for? Brittany, you want to jump in? I haven't forgotten you this time, babe. Go for it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I feel lucky. Anyway, Tyrone, I like Chris Nathan said, I really appreciate his honesty, right? Because you don't come across a lot of people, let alone men, that are that honest and upfront. However, like everyone mostly has said, I don't think this was his pace, right? I wouldn't say he wasn't ready for the show. Yes, I can lean towards that. However, I don't think he really knows how to date like this. Because if you see what you want, you go for it, and that's what he did. I mean, like some men I know, if they see what they want, they kind of go for it and just go there. I mean, I don't know. I don't see it as a bad thing as what he did, but I do think there's some oversharing that happened, and it was just too soon. I feel like you got to look at the other person and see what they're doing and get an idea of the pace that they're going in order to really put forth that type of information. Because the last thing you want to do is make someone feel uncomfortable. And I know that wasn't what he was trying to do. However, that's how it came off. And it could come off a little offensive like it did to Sabrina. Well, not really offensive, but just kind of, she got taken aback. Like, okay, I like you. But it's like, while this was happening, I'm watching him cutting himself short. Because there's so many other women that he could be trying to get to know, right? And I don't even think he gave Carrie a fair shot either. Yeah, he may not like her. I get it. Because men, y'all know if y'all don't like somebody, you don't like them. However, I think there's still some more to get to know sometimes. And then, putting all your eggs in one basket, like Chris said. You're cutting yourself short when you have an opportunity like this to get to know other women in an environment like this. Because yes, it's very fast paced. It's like speed dating. You got to know how to work a room in order to hopefully find what you want in a short amount of time. But I mean, that does take other people being able to, know how to respond to who you are as well. So, you just got to you got to feel things out sometimes before you speak. I know it was probably heavy on him to say that. However, I don't think Shiloh was moving like that. I mean, we see that she wasn't. So, you got to just be cognizant of everybody else around you. That's all. But I think Tyrone had good intentions with it. It's just that everybody else wasn't really on the same page in regards to timing with him. Everybody else is taking their time. He sees it. He went for it. It just didn't work out.
Appreciate it, Brittany. Right on time as well. Thank you. Good points. Thank you very much. Reform by J, baby. Talk to me.
My dear, sweet, tactless Tyrone, okay? This was so Shakespearean to me, the irony of it all, okay? Because you, in your own definition, sir, you were aggressive, okay? Because that's what you said that Carrie was last week. for her just looking over at you talk to another woman. Sir, your behavior this week was just amazing. That's why I say you and Corey are a bit alike. That if it's true that you said what you said to Sabrina off camera and told her the same thing you told Shiloh, you're copy and paste just as well. But, you know, we have no evidence of it. So we just have to go off the word of her right now that you said it. So I'll let you slide on that. But the fact that you cut off all of your arms and limbs, and then you want to have the nerve to try to walk with Shiloh, like, how are you going to do that? You know, and granted, I give you this. Him and KAMIL are the same as far as the aggression and the possessive levels. I give him the fact that he gives Shiloh some space, at least, to go through her process, as where KAMIL just doesn't give Cornelius any room to breathe. So I give him that credit. But you guys are sitting here saying that he's honest and stuff. There's a level to honesty. Yes. His levels of honesty came at telling Sabrina one thing, telling Shiloh another thing, and telling Carrie something else. He has different levels for each woman. Now he goes to one woman and tells the other woman what he should be telling the woman he's talking about. For a fact that you went to Shiloh to tell her about Carrie. To me, that's not really honesty. And then you have the nerves to come back and try to tell her she's aggressive. You didn't tell that to Shiloh. You told Shiloh something else. I don't know why she's defending you, saying that you're honest, because you're not even honest to her if what you said to Sabrina is true. Because you went and told her the same thing you told Shiloh. That's not honesty. Up front, maybe, on how you feeling at the time. But you're telling these women different things at different moments of the time. Like, it makes absolutely no sense. Okay, I know you guys want to sit here and say, give him a pass with PTSD or whatnot. I'm trying to tell you guys, it takes a special person to be with that. Shiloh is not your therapist. That's what you were looking for, because she was easy to talk to, easy to get along with, easy to confess whatever you wanted to say to. You want to make her your wife now. You ain't even went on a date with her. Are you serious? Couple of phone conversations. I don't even seem like it was that long. You actually sound like you talked to Sabrina a lot longer than you talked to Shiloh. You talked to AISHA a bit longer, to the point AISHA's like, you know, I'm looking at you like the homeboy. Let me go ahead and send you over to, you know, teach you how to pick up the girls or whatnot. So it's just, dude, you are not ready for this process. This is absolutely true. You need some more therapy to get you out there conditioned to talking to women and having conversations with women and opening yourself up, because you're still closed off to a lot of things in this world. And it comes across on the screen, and it comes across to the women, because you are distant and you are cold. So I would just advise that right now you just seek more help as far as getting conditioned to being in civilization with other people.
Time up. Thank you very much, Jay. Just in time. Okay. Okay. The conversation is getting spicy. I'm seeing faces. Bree, what are you saying? What are you saying?
Oh, wow. It's so great to hear everybody's points, because I really don't even know what to say about Tyrone. I'm glad you guys answered my question, because I was like, did I miss something? Because I'm like, he didn't go on a date with Shiloh, right? So I'm glad that was answered. I do think he was the right choice to go home. He basically had his eyes set on Shiloh, and I'm still trying to figure out why, but you know, hey, that's him. I will say, I do think PTSD does play a part in him going home. That's just how I feel. I don't know if maybe he told Shiloh he had that. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's maybe had very intimate conversations with her. And I do believe in a way that she kind of feels some way about that. And I do agree with Jay. It really does take a special person to be with someone that has that. He wasn't really trying to give anyone else a chance. He just wanted to be with Shiloh. I don't think that was a good look for him, going around saying that's his wife to other ladies, especially when other women were feeling him. I do think that this isn't the right show for him, unfortunately. And I do think he really does want to settle down. And he's just looking for one woman. He's not trying to play games. I do agree with like Corey was saying about that. But unfortunately, I do think his time needed to end. And he shouldn't have just stuck to Shiloh. And I do feel like it did make her uncomfortable. And I don't believe that crying was just about, oh, you know, I feel bad that you're going home and I have to be the one to tell you. I do think she doesn't feel comfortable around him, especially him going around telling people he wants to be with her. So his situation, I don't, like I said, I don't really know much to say. I agree with everyone's points and I hear everyone's perspective. You know, it's unfortunate, but no, this was not the right show for him, and he needed to go. It was time.
Thank you very much, Bree. Sean, what are you saying?
So, you know, definitely I could see some of the points, and I'm not a woman, so I don't want to you know, dismiss the opinions of some of the women either on the panel as well as in the comments, because I just didn't see that. I just saw him as socially awkward. But if there's more context to it, hey, I'm open to hearing that might be an issue. I definitely think he was really way too quick. And even in my opening, my joke was I felt like he was on the wrong show, because to immediately be referred to seeing Shiloh as his wife with minimal interactions, no date, and a couple of, you know, phone conversations, that's like a lot too fast. And then he's already making these decisions, you know, so quickly. And Sabrina even tried to help him. Like, why would you cut off, you know, people that, you know, might be interested in you? And it seems like the ladies were giving him a shot. So I just think he was trying to make some decision too soon that he felt like needed to be made. Even cutting Kerry off in that conversation let me know, like, when whatever he was saying is, I don't feel like I can juggle 3 women at one time. It's like, but nobody's asking you to do that, bro. Like, that wasn't your assignment. Your assignment is to just get to know the ladies, see who you feel like you have the best connections with, and just start to get to know them on a different level. Right? You know, go on some dates, have some conversations with multiple people, because you don't know that the people that you're having the strongest connections with are having them with you. So it just didn't make a lot of sense to me. And I think that there's something, because then Shiloh was crying. So it was all super confusing to me. Like, they had this deep emotional connection. So that just threw me for a loop. When she started crying, just thinking about having to eliminate him and then doing it, it just didn't make sense. But I definitely think they did him a service in letting him off the show, because he would very well get more hurt than he probably was, you know, because this is not the show for somebody that is sensitive. You know, they're not going to tap dance on your feelings. They're going to stomp on them. So, you know, I think it was best that he exited. And if there was some other things under the surface, then I hope he continues to get and do some work on those things.
Appreciate it, Sean. Good points there. Good points there. All right. Who hasn't gone on this question? I think everyone's gone now, isn't it? Everyone's gone on this question. But I think, Oni, you wanted to respond.
Yeah, I'm not trying to discredit what anyone has to say. I just have to say, like, based on this, like, a third season lost to show, we know editing is like very crazy on this show. So we don't know if Tyrone has actually went on a date with Shiloh at this point. We do know a lot of things happen behind the scenes. We do know he's been talking with these women behind the scenes. We just haven't seen any dates with Tyrone besides the meet and greet after the Kerry and Tyrone last week, when Tyrone said he didn't want to talk to Kerry. I do know that Tyrone's being awkward, and being awkward can definitely be a disadvantage when it comes to dating scene. And again, I understand your safety. And again, I'm not defending Tyrone's actions. The only misstep that Tyrone made this week that I saw was him progressing his love for Shiloh to other people. That doesn't happen unless you have some type of investment into a person. We do know they've been talking on the phone at night. That part we do know. We don't know at this point have they actually went on a date. Just know that the show hasn't showed us that. I would definitely like to see Tyrone's point of view about what happened on his side, so we can actually make an actual assessment on this. Because again, something isn't adding up. But I do know that he's making the show uncomfortable for Shiloh moving forward. So again, if this is a game show and the thing's about finding your own match, Tyrone being on there can make it very uncomfortable for the other people, for the other women on the other women, like, or particularly Shiloh, finding a particular match. So again, I understand him going home. I get that. Him being awkward, again, I mean, that's part of him. But at the same time, that can't be a slight for him if the objective is to find people you want to meet with and hang out with them. Just because I don't understand I'm trying to get from Tyrone's point of view. Why do you want him to talk to people he's not interested in? Even if he wasn't awkward, we typically don't do that in real life. But now we're forcing him to be coy, not be upfront with his emotions. If anything, he's telling you exactly what he wants to do straight up front. Someone like Corey's being deceitful. He's not telling you what he wants to do, and he's playing a game as sheep in wolf's clothing. That's something. Even though it's easy for us to see that, it's kind of we kind of identify that and move forward. We know we should avoid the Coreys in the world. Someone like Tyrone, unless we have evidence of him making it uncomfortable for the ladies, then again, like, I don't want to put him down in that light. Awkward people, yes, it's hard to deal with, and again, there's a chance that he can flip easily on you. He can be aggressive. He might even be violent and hard to deal with, but he hasn't shown it up to this point. The women actually like being around. It's just that his actions as of late has what's made him not fit for the show. If we take the show away from this and just put this in a real life situation, what are we trying to say about someone like Tyrone? I don't want to blame it on PTSD, because again, even if he has PTSD, unless he's showing you violence or showing you some maliciousness or showing you something, what are you gonna? It's hard for us to say that's the cause, and I think we're kind of treading down that road. I just don't want to go that far until we get all the information about what's happening.
Appreciate Oni. Does anyone want to respond maybe to that point? You know, like I said, it's an open discussion, and there's some points that have been brought up, and I understand we've got I won't even say opposing views, two different angles of a particular view. So it'll be good to maybe get a bit of a conversation around that. Maybe the ladies can explain a little bit more in terms of what they're seeing and what they feel about the situation. Because again, we're men, some of us. And well, that sounded wrong. Some of us, the men who are men here. So we see things differently. That's what I meant to say. We see things differently, but it's good to have you here so that we can actually understand where you're coming from. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know if anyone else wants to add to that point and give us a bit more broader perspective on that issue. Go for it, see what
just real quickly, I want to say with the date, only we know that this was their first date because they say that on the show in the beginning of their date and the end of it, that this was their first date. So they've only had interactions on the phone. And I mean, there's so many ways we can go about this. There's so many reasons why we can say Shiloh was crying. We don't really know. My point is that I'm not personally waiting to get all the facts, data, statistics for me to run for the hills when someone's moving very, very funny. And the same reason why we think Kamil is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs for being really connected and trying to take hold of Cornelius, this was a very similar situation. This latching on to Shiloh was very odd. This talking to other women, telling them that Shiloh is his wife is very odd. To me, that was an act to isolate. It seemed like an intentional act to isolate, to get Shiloh in a corner. And we don't know why she's crying, but to me, I felt suffocated for her. I felt it was a very suffocating way to go about things. And if he maybe he's just awkward and he doesn't know how to interact, and his the response from his actions kind of had that effect and that wasn't his intent, then you know that's unfortunate. But I can't speak to his intent. I can only speak to the effect, and the effect was very odd, very isolating, and Shiloh ended up crying. And these two people don't know each other enough to be crying like that, to be having that type of interaction. That's a very inappropriate interaction. And I feel like Shiloh in many ways was trying to make like a Tyrone kind of patient in a way, and he was trying to make her doctor. I don't know what the hell was going on there in midnight train to Georgia conversations. Either way, it was too fast, too soon, red flag. And as a woman, I feel like you don't need to be in that particular situation with someone that attached to you. You don't need a project. And that to me felt like a project, and one that can go really left. I don't do projects, so I can't even relate to this. But if I did, this would not be a good project to have. This is quite scary. And I don't think the men in the chat are going to understand, because you guys are not on this angle. And clearly Cornelius doesn't understand, because he's going to be in trouble too. So beware of red flags and beware of projects. Serious.
Okay. I have a quick question.
Coach can ask a question, and Brittany can go after.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to know, like, besides the Carrie situation and besides him professing his love to Shiloh, what else about Tyrone would you say was a red flag besides him being not as forthcoming as far as his feelings for everybody else? What else about him? Because you guys saying that he was socially awkward, he's a red flag. Besides those two incidents, because it took 4 episodes for them to find that out. But no one said anything negative about Tyrone those previous episodes. But everybody knew about Corey from the first episode that he was trash. So my thing is, when it comes to Tyrone, what was so bad about him that you saw in the 5th episode that you didn't see episodes 1 through 4?
I'm gonna sit here and tell you, I said stuff from the first beginning. Very top of this, I told y'all to watch out for him and things. That coldness, that emotionalist behavior that he has through the conversation, the dryness and all of that, there's something there. He's lacking something, and something's not complete in him. And I'm not saying that he can't be a good man, but he needs more transitioning from what he's been through. And I had made this statement from the beginning. If you have ever been with somebody with PTSD, and they have been, their PTSD comes from being in a war, that transition is a whole different thing, because everything moving is a target still until they get complete healing to realize they're back in civilization with us. They're not at war anymore. Because when you're over at war, and I'm giving him this, that he's probably been through the Iraq war, there were kids firing at him. There are adults firing at him. There are women with babies in their stomach firing at him. Everybody is a target. To come back over here, it's a lot. So there's an emptiness in him that is just doesn't have him connect with us as we do as humans, where you have that love and that passion and stuff. I'm gonna stop now because my cat going crazy. Sorry, y'all.
I hear you. Okay. Go for Brittany. You was gonna say.
So I'll just say this in regards to Tyrone. I mean, because I noticed some things too in the beginning, but I couldn't put my finger on it. I just know how I feel when I see someone, because I discern people and who they are as well. I'm not saying he's a bad person, because I didn't get that from him. However, I did feel that something was a little like, okay, let me just keep my eyes open and pay attention. Not in a bad way, but you just know when there's something that's not really all the way there, right? But in regards to Shiloh and why she was crying, I was just thinking about how he said that they were on the phone talking. They were on the phone for a while, I guess. And I'm just going to say, because he may have divulged a lot of information to her, and she may be empathetic toward what he was saying, a lot of the things were really, really heavy, possibly. And so she just probably really felt bad, right? And they probably ended up creating a friendship through that conversation. It's a possibility in all of that being heavy on you as a person who does take on other people's feelings, because I'm like that. When I feel somebody's feelings, if they're feeling like that, I'm probably gonna cry too. Like we don't know what information he told her over the phone. And so, she probably felt really, really bad. However, she does know what she wants, and she didn't want to, be so connected to him so early yet. She wasn't gonna put her all into him yet. So I feel like it was a conflicting feeling for her. She feels bad. However, she still wants to get to know him, but they're not on the same page. So it's a lot to handle as a woman when you're trying to figure things out and you're going through a process that's moving so quickly, right? So that's just something else to look at as to why she could have been crying.
Cool. Anyone else want to chime in their thoughts? No? No one else? Okay. No. Good conversation. You know, I think it's always interesting to have different perspectives for women and men. You know, ladies, I'm seeing ladies in the chat as well, and they're encouraging the ladies to trust their intuition and trust their gut. Hey, I'm not going to tell you not to trust your gut. Trust your gut. If your gut is telling you that it's not, you need to move away from this guy, please trust your gut. Like, trust your gut. You know what I mean? Like, if your gut's telling you that, I'm gonna tell you this and just trust it. You know, because you know, your safety is paramount. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, so yeah. But I see both points. So let me ask a question maybe to the ladies, because I think Edwin also had PTSD, right, from last season, right? Edwin also had PTSD. Did you get the same feeling that you have with Tyrone that you got with Edwin? Maybe this will help people understand a little bit better. Maybe us men will understand a bit better. Because I don't get the same feeling seeing Edwin do I do when I see Tyrone. I'm not saying I see stalker vibes, but definitely don't feel all the way safe when I see Tyrone. That's not a beef. And they both were in the army. So what are you going to say, Siwe?
I mean, I'm not an expert on this field with this, so I want to be careful about what I say. But I don't particularly think what we're seeing, what the women in the chat are seeing, is particularly related to PTSD.
Okay.
From my understanding of those with PTSD, I'm not saying it may not affect him in some way, but I think what we're seeing seems more related to what he said about his abandonment issues, his issues with his mother, things like that. I think his PTSD may just also affect him in other ways, because I feel like Edwin had different issues and no, so I don't find them to be specifically correlated. But again, I'm not an expert, so I want to say that with the caveat.
Cool. Yeah.
I'll say this about Edwin's situation. You can't compare the two, because Edwin was taking care of his brother, who has mental issues, right? So we don't know in regards to his PTSD how him taking care of his brother would, affect his other relationships outside of everything else, right? Because Edwin has to have a level of sympathy and empathy while taking care of his brother, right? As when you look at Tyrone, it's just him and his childhood trauma, the trauma he has from being at war, So I don't know much about PTSD, but just understanding people and emotions, everybody's situation is going to be different. So I don't think we can equate the two. However, when Joy was dating Edwin, I think Joy, some of her reasons as to why she didn't want to date him was because of the PTSD and how much more help he needed in regards to dealing with it and coping, right? So, because she did like him. I mean, I think all the ladies loved Edwin. I like Edwin, but there's just certain levels of emotion that some people can handle and some can't. And Joy just knew what she was going to be able to handle emotionally and carry in a relationship. So, and like Jay said, it takes a special person to deal with that. I mean, and that's not to say that the people that don't want to date somebody with PTSD is a bad person. However, people know how much they can take on emotionally.
Cool. No. I don't know if anyone else wants to. And by the way, I actually wasn't actually even comparing their PTSD. Rather, I wanted to kind of see if you were getting the same feeling, right? Because they both have PTSD, but I was wondering what kind of feeling you were getting when you saw Edwin, and whether you had that same feeling when you got with Tyrone, just to kind of help us illustrate that, with people who have obviously PTSD ranges, but you may have different feelings to different people. So it's a feeling that you ladies are talking about, right? So we don't have that as men because we're not seeing, he's not a woman, he's a man. So I thought that would help kind of like highlight a little bit in terms of the fact that it's not the PTSD that you guys are talking about. You're talking about the overall feeling that this person's making you feel, what he's emitting out there. So okay, I'm hearing you on that. I don't know if anyone else wanted to comment. If not, we'll shift it on. Anyone else?
Yeah, I just want to say this. No, I'm not hating on Tyrone. I do like Tyrone. Like I said before, he's a good thing. But if you had watched Maria S's live when this all first started, I spoke on having a relationship with somebody who has went to war prior and meeting and seeing the new person they were when they came back. If you're not in the right headspace to deal with that type of person, it's not going to work out. You're going to become their therapist. You're going to become their punching bag. You're going to become a lot of things if they're not in the space. He's been working, he says, but he still needs more work. That's all it is. I'm not saying that he's not going to be right for somebody, but right now he's just not right for anybody that doesn't relate to what he's been through.
Good points. Good points. Good points. I'm hearing you. Chris Nuffley, did you want to say something?
Yeah, sure. I just wanted to say that I think the difference in the feeling was, though Edwin liked Joy, I don't think she felt like he was cutting people off, and like he was still going through the process, and we know he liked her, but he was still meeting up, getting to know the other women. He wasn't cutting them off. And with Tyrone, it just seems a bit heavy, just heavy. And ladies, you know what I mean. When it just feels heavy very early, it's a lot to process. You're thinking, I don't even know if I like you yet. Like, for some guys, they love bomb you. For some guys, it's just already like instant, you're my woman, check in, all this stuff. And you're just kind of like, okay, this is a lot. Hold on. And we're not saying Tyrone did that. I'm just saying about the feeling that we're talking about. And so sometimes it can just be an overwhelming feeling. It's like just a lot very soon. And with Edwin, I think that though he liked Joy, he still, I believe, spent time with the other women. He didn't cut them off and be like, I only like Joy, so I don't want to get to know y'all. Because then it's like, what's the point of continuing in the process, right? Because you're there to meet people. And so I think that's one of the differences, not being so heavy so soon, because it can be a bit overwhelming for sure.
No, good points.
I'm sorry, I add this last thing. When you look at Tyrone, the way he approaches is like more in your face. Edwin, when he approached, it was a lot more like laid back, and then I'll speak. And it was just a lot more sweeter with the way he kind of like approached the situation with the ladies. And that's how I see it in terms of feeling, right? Because Tyrone, right in your face, like he's going to tell you how he feels, and that's what it is. And then Edwin, it's a lot more on the easier side. Remember, because the fact that he takes care of his brother, who has his mental issues, it's I think that plays a part in how Edwin would approach certain situations with people. So, just in regards to that, because remember, Tyrone is by himself. He lives on his own. But Edwin, he has his kids and his brother who he's helping taking care of.
Thank you very much, Brittany. I appreciate it. Yeah, man. Do you know what? I'm hearing both sides, I see what the guys are saying as well. Like, want to be cautious that, we're not just labeling him as crazy or, kind of being a serial kind of killer vibe when, he took the rejection really well. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, he took the rejection quite well. So, I see what the guys are saying. I also see what the ladies are saying as well, that, they're getting a certain vibe and a certain energy. And so, I want, as I said before, I want the ladies to honor your intuition. If your intuition is telling you that you've got to bounce, please bounce. Don't hesitate to bounce. I want to encourage you ladies to, even if he's a safe guy and it doesn't make a difference. If you feel like your gut's telling you, I want the ladies to trust their gut. At the end of the day, your safety is paramount. It's better to be safe than sorry. Do you know what I mean? So I definitely hear you on that point as well. And yeah, hopefully, like I see in the chat, hopefully we'll get Tyrone and he'll be able to, maybe we'll have a different perspective when we get to have him one-to-one up close and personal. But I definitely hear you on the heavy stuff. And actually, I said I think Shiloh's playing counselor for him, and that's why I can't remember what the term is called when you start fancying your counselor. I'm trying to remember. There's a term that's actually maybe Candice is in the chat, she can tell us. There's a term when people start fancying their counselor, right? They start attaching themselves to you because they're doing something that someone else has never done before. Care, you know what I mean? So for him, for me, I'm not gonna lie to you. If Shala was my sister, I'd have told her to run. No play. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I don't think Tyrone's a bad guy, but as soon as he came out to say I can see you as my wife, I'd be like, sis, baby girl, I need you to run, okay? And like I'll count to 3 on that mark. 1, 2, we gone, right? Because it was so soon, right? And that can easily lead into love bombing, just simple straight manipulation, you know what I'm saying? And you know, for me, I'm always cautious of those things, so it was a bit too soon for me. And then the social awkwardness as well, on top of that as well. Yeah, I'd have been telling my sister to run. That's just my personal thought towards it, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I'm just saying that's the kind of feeling I was getting. You know what I mean? I ain't even trying to date him. It's just, you know what I mean? So, but again, Tyrone, please, if you're watching this, we're not saying you're a bad person. Please come on and let's interview you so we can get a different perspective. Okay, thank you. All right, cool. Let's someone says call transference. Fantastic. Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's move forward because I think we've exhausted Tyrone now as well. Okay, cool. Let's move on because Tyrone wasn't the only one having extensive trouble on this show with their behaviors. We had someone else who is also moving very, very, very mad. Territorial, possessive, you know, setting her stall outside of where people are sitting and conversating. My girl just said she didn't even fancy him no more. After that's how stressed she was. She was so stressed after he talked to one girl. She wanted to say she don't even fancy him no more. You know, the ones there. You know, when you see your crush and they're talking to someone else, that's what it was like. It's like when you're in primary school or secondary school, or for you guys when you're like your middle school kind of thing, and you know you see your crush and the crush is talking to someone else, and you're like, I don't even like them anymore because like they're not talking to me. That's how it sounds. That's how it was like with KAMIL. So I want to get you guys' thoughts on the KAMIL situation with Cornelius. I want to get you guys' thoughts on this. Who would like to champion first the points on this conversation?
I'll go ahead.
Go for it.
KAMIL is just possessive, period. From day one, she knew who she wanted, she saw it, and she went for the kill, right? And I mean, a lot of people mentioned it in the beginning. The name calling is a no-go. Because even when I was sitting there, even though she wasn't talking to me, I was like, girl, what? Who is you calling a dumb? Hey, like, excuse me? Right? I don't know how he let that slide. I mean, I don't think he let it slide. He was just allowing her to speak. However, I still think he could have corrected her because you're not going to call me that. Or the other names that she called him. And like Chris Nathan said, and there was another girl who was doing the same thing, I think, but they never talked about being in a relationship. I never heard not one conversation about two people literally like claiming each other on this show. And Cornelius needs to speak up. He's not saying enough to her. Because he's allowing her to do this. Like, he can speak up and tell her to slow down, but she's not. And because he's not saying anything, she feels as though she could just like walk all over him. And I don't know, maybe he does like her. Maybe he likes what she's doing, but it's too much to the point where it's becoming scary. Because even I feel like it's very manipulative of her to do it, and it's dangerous because she's playing a game, and I've seen it played before. We've all seen it. You know, she's mad at the beginning. I mean, fuming. Then she's finding a reason to pull him away from everybody else, to cry and you know, be like a damsel almost, to make him feel bad. However, she's the one causing the scene. She's doing too much. And then she apologized to him the other day or the next day. It's too much. And then KAMIL got to chill out because he does not belong to her. He is not your property. And if they get married, that's how she's going to see him. This is not going to be a partnership. It's not going to be a two-way street. This is mine. You can't have him. Don't touch him. And she's going to try to control everything around him and everyone around him. And it's not going to make for a good or happy relationship whatsoever. I don't think he would marry her anyway, but maybe he would. I don't know with the way he's going. But it's just, I need him to speak up. I need him to start saying something. I need him to start I don't want to say put her in her place, but let her know, like, you got to chill out. You're doing too much. It's just too much. And then soon he going to find himself alone because don't nobody else want to talk to him because Kamil is taking up all of the space. Like, there's no room for him to breathe whatsoever. And if you can't get past Kamil, and there is no password we're getting past her anyway, then what's the point in even having him on the show? People want to knock him out. And I low-key feel like that is what she wants. Get him off so she can keep him to herself and lock him down. Exactly.
Thank you, Brittany. Appreciate that. Chris Arthur, you're shaking your head. What's going on? Talk to me. Thank you, Brittany.
Hashtag surviving Kamil. Okay. Kamil is manipulative. She's abusive and she needs to be eliminated ASAP. You do not have to trick, beg for a man to give you attention, to want you. You're claiming him. It just screams beyond desperate. It is not cute. It is very sad to watch. You have to watch him talk to people. You have to watch his interactions. You have to watch if he's smiling with someone. Girl, get a life. You want to suck this man into your web just so you can break his heart once he gets into you. Seriously, go get help. It is ridiculous. It's not cute. And Kamil needs to be eliminated, period, point blank. That's just how I feel about it. None of this is cute. Her facial expressions, calling him a dumbass. Really? Seriously? And the fact that he entertains this, he does not check her. He entertains her. She pulls him away. He goes. Cornelius, get yourself together. I'm going to need you to man up in this situation. You are allowing this woman to make you look absolutely insane, and you just might miss out on real love because you're entertaining this ridiculous woman. So get it together. And Kamil has to go, period, point blank. I am so over her. Nothing about this is cute. Nothing about this is mature. Nothing about this screams lady. So Kamil, your time is up. You need to go, period, point blank. And she is abusive, by the way. She's emotionally, verbally abusive. And she manipulates him, but he's allowing it. And that's what's pissing me off. But, I'm sorry. I don't know if I can use these words on your platform. Sorry. But I'm just frustrated. None of this is cute. Any woman who has this behavior, it's not cute. So if you act like this, get yourself together. Nothing about this is cute, period. And those are my thoughts. Thank you, Kojo.
Thank you very much, Chris Arthur. Appreciate that. Good breakdown. All right. Let me get one on the... Corey, you want to go, yeah? He was giving me signals. I love it. Go for it, bro.
Yeah. Cornelius is very much giving me beta male vibes. He wants to be liked. He wants to be adored, appreciated, but he doesn't want to fight back. He gives me that walking mat type of vibe to him, which is very dangerous because Kamil is very controlling. The fact that he allowed her to say what she said to him, he heard it, he didn't respond, he didn't snap back, he didn't stand up for himself. That tells me a lot about Cornelius as a man. I remember in the first episode, I was saying that Cornelius does not show me any type of masculinity in him. He's very soft. There's nothing wrong with that because there are some women out there who likes the vibe that Cornelius gives. But any man who allows a woman to say that to him, I don't care what's going on behind closed doors. I don't care how good whatever it is behind doors is. You do not allow anyone to talk to you in that fashion. You do not allow anyone to disrespect you as a man, the core of who you are. You don't allow that to happen. And because he let that happen, it says a lot about him. And like I said, it really, it's oozing beta to me. He understands. I think he knows he's down to 2 women. No one else is really showing interest in him. So because of that, he has Courtney and he has Kamil. Courtney seemed like she was going towards Corey, so he's trying to make this thing with Kamil work. But he's very, I don't want to say weak, but he's a little bit softer around the edges when it comes to how he dates and who he dates. So that's my 2 cents on him.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. All right. Brady, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, Kamil is a hot mess. But you know what? I don't know. This may be a little bit far left for people. I kind of think she's putting on for the cameras a little bit. I don't know. The over exaggeration and, you better not talk to anybody. I really think she's doing that a little bit for the cameras, putting on. I don't know. I've just been watching her body language, and maybe it's for entertainment and she wants to stay on, or maybe they told her to play this type of role, just knowing how production is. I do kind of feel like she's putting on, but besides that, that's just my little theory. She really needs to just stop. I think Cornelius really needs to not talk to her anymore, because it is very controlling. And it's kind of scary. And then you don't want to get in a relationship with someone who's showing you these signs already and you're not even together. And I don't like that possessiveness and, you better not do this. And I thought that was so disrespectful for her to call him that name. And it's just like, who are you talking to? I didn't like that. I just think Cornelius does need to stand up for himself. And I think he is slowly starting not to be attracted to her anymore because of the way she treats him and how she speaks to him. But I feel like he's afraid to say it or something, or maybe he doesn't want to hurt her feelings. I don't know. Because to me, I think he's feeling Courtney the most, but whatever. But yeah, Kamil needs to be eliminated next week. It's too much. She might, though, just from seeing the upcoming scenes for next week. But yeah, I didn't like her, I don't think, from day one, how she was, and she just needs to go. So, but I do think she's kind of putting on a character a little bit, but hey, we'll see what happens next week. That's what I got about her.
Appreciate that, Bree. Appreciate that. Good points. Thank you very much. Who wants to go next then? Onu, go for it.
I guess Kamil is showing us levels of possessiveness that's getting to be uncontrollable. And again, when it comes to Cornelius, I agree with Corey has to say. He is displaying beta male activity. The key thing is we're expecting him to be something that he's not. And I'm going back to this to the promo from the first week. The show set him up to this God-fearing Christian celibate man. And based on his actions, he hasn't shown us that at all. If anything, he's just shown us someone who's going with the flow, and he's unable to stand up for himself, or unable to have discernment about type of women he should have and not have in his life based on his convictions. And to me, it's getting sad to watch. The issue that I have with Cornelius, and especially in this episode, is he's okay with all the attention. He's okay with the sexual advances from both Kamil and Courtney. It wasn't an issue until Kamil called him out his name, or called him a country bumpkin, or trying to disrespect him. That's when you see the attitude change in Cornelius. That's when he's felt not as a man, or he felt threatened, not threatened, just felt insecure about himself. We haven't seen him react to that. We just seen that the expressive of him just checking out. I would like to see what happens next week with Cornelius, because again, I understand with most people on the panel, he needs to step up to himself. He needs to avoid himself from the situation. He needs to avoid himself from both situations. However, he's constantly continuing both situations. We're hearing behind the scenes he's having shirtless FaceTime calls with Kamil. So again, whatever he's doing, he's drawing Kamil over to him to do these things. And my thing is, he's making it comfortable for her to be her who she is. Kamil wouldn't be acting this way unless Cornelius is giving him the attention that he does, the attention that she needs. And I kind of feel with Cornelius, especially when you deal with beta guys, again, if they're giving up, I mean, they're okay staying in the background. People that are going to be more dominant or more assertive, they can probably manipulate the situation from the time being. How someone like Cornelius dissuade from dismanipulative or unable to be more dominant into his approach. There's no alpha males this season, and we're trying to force someone in alpha role. And again, Cornelius isn't that guy. Even last season with Jason, like, we're forcing people what they are not to be something that some people forcing people to do things that are who they're not. And again, if he had any ounce of alpha, he would shut this thing down weeks ago, days ago. It wouldn't have carried on this long. However, he's hard to blame. Like, I'm gonna give him a good chunk of the pie here. I'm like, she's not doing this on her own. There's things that were happening on the scene that we're not seeing that's playing a factor into this. And like, at some point, yes, we want Cornelius to step up, but at some points, like, she's only doing what she's doing. Camille's pretty much sent her MO since day one. She didn't give an apology until she got caught, or until she was brought, until it made him feel uncomfortable. And even with the apology, it was BS. Like, to me, it just allows him to realize, you know what, she can do this again. There's nothing you can do about it. Again, that makes her very dangerous to be around. We'll see how long this is going to continue.
Cheers on you. Appreciate that. Okay, the conversation is firing up. All right. Siwe.
I joked and said Camille's the abuser. Y'all wanted Michaela to be this entire math season. Camille gave it so easy.
Siwe.
Look, there's no debate here. There's no debate to be had. This is textbook verbal abuse. And I'm gonna go one further. I'm gonna give the guy something further. If this was a man, she would have been out of here. She's actually gotten more leeway with this toxic behavior because she's a woman. So you heard it here first with the double standards. It's definitely been going on because she's dangerous. She's definitely dangerous, and this behavior is definitely scary. I was so caught off guard. I don't curse, first off. Well, I mostly don't curse. So I'm really like offended. When I heard her cuss at him, I'm like, oh my God, I wouldn't talk to someone I didn't like that. Like, I don't even know like what level of crazy she thought that was okay. And I honestly I don't even know if I believe she's been engaged 3 times, because I don't know how you find 3 men to marry you and you talk to them like that. If she has, she's way better than we're giving her credit, because that's impressive, because that was so disrespectful. And I don't know what man would be okay with that. But I just want to shift it because we all know that that's crazy. She's acting crazy. I just want to know like when we're going to get more context on Cornelius, because I want to know more about him. I want to know why he's like been participating in this kind of like abusive cycle. I want to know why he's entertaining Camille on the phone. I want to know why he's accepting this apology so easily. I just want to know. I want to know either he's like a person who's easily gets sucked into abusive situations and he's a victim, or maybe he has an ulterior motive to staying on the show. I'm trying to figure out what it is, which one it is. And I don't think we have a lot of context on Cornelius as a person, what his story was up into these 39 years. So I think he's 39 years old, what relationships he's been in, like what his story is. I'm just trying to figure out why he kind of like drew himself to Camille, or better yet, why he was such a target for Camille. Because I feel like Camille knows, an abuser knows who she can abuse, or he can abuse. She didn't pick him by happenstance. She picked him for a reason. And I want to know why kind of like he was drawn to her and why she was drawn to him. And that's what I'm interested in. I have a few theories, but only time will tell. But if he's a true victim, I really hope that he gets away, and I hope that he can do what they did for Tyrone and get Camille off of the show. Because if she keeps going like this, it's not really cute. It's really ugly to see on the TV. I think it looks horrible. But I want to know why he's like so forgiving and okay with the situation. It's odd. It's really, really odd. So yeah.
Thank you very much, Shiwei, for that. Good points. Good points. I'm hearing you on that. Good points out there. Okay, who's next? Who's next? Who wants to take the baton, baby? Go for it, Shawn.
So, I really tried to dissuade Seaway from making the Hurricane K comparison. She just had to go there. Listen, I think we all see Kamil, thankfully, for what she is, but I just don't, it just disturbs me when we just spend so much time talking about, well, why did he let her do it? And he should do this and he should do that. And I get all those things to be true, but why aren't we spending the time on why she behaves this way? What about her past makes her disrespect men? What unhealed issues does she have that drives her to think that this is an effective way to communicate with anybody, let alone a man that she has an interest in? What about her that thinks that she can disrespect a whole region of people and minimize them to be country bumpkins because they don't move at the pace she thinks that they should move? What about her that thinks that she can talk to a man as if he were her child? That is where we should spend the time, because she is a problem. And what happens is there's plenty of women who move around in this way, who talk to men in this way, and they get a pass because they're women. And as a man, and this is the time when I want you as women and anybody who disagrees to listen to us men, because we listen to you go on about Tyrone. Didn't register to me, but I'm willing to hear it, right? So be willing to hear me. I know you ladies think that, oh, it's just so easy to correct a woman, to tell her what she should do. No, it's not. Because many women want to do what they want to do. And when we meet them with a correction, we get told about the patriarchy. We get told about toxic masculinity. God forbid if we raise our voice in a heated argument, we get tone checked. So these are things that are running through a man's head in real life, let alone when you're on a television show being displayed across the entire country. So her behavior was deplorable. I don't care, alpha male, beta male, sigma, whatever length you want to go through. She should not be talking to anybody like that. She shouldn't be allowed. It's not an allow. You should not let words like that utter out of your mouth to communicate with another person. And that, to me, is the core problem. It's like, why are we giving her a slight pass? We'll call her crazy, but then we'll say, well, what's wrong with Cornelius? No, what's wrong with Kamil? Kamil has a serious issue in the way that she talks to people. She called him an F student. I mean, she went on and on and on. And then we saw some snippets from the date that she went on with Naeem on the own channel on YouTube, and she's moving in the same various way. But again, no one person is created the same, but it still doesn't excuse the way that she behaves. And her behavior is flat out deplorable. It is. It's horrible.
Right on the time. Right on the time. Ooh, okay, conversations taking a little bit of heat. Jay, I know Jay has a counterbalance thought process. Go for it.
Okay, so I'm gonna start off with Kamil just like this. One, we know that she is a drama teacher. Okay, so maybe right now she's just playing out some scenes from what thin line between love and hate, and Lynn Whitfield is her favorite character right now. I don't know what's going on through her head other than her being highly insecure, manipulative, and verbally abusive in this one scene alone. Sweetie, you need to check it all, reel it all back in. I say this every week. You're unraveling at the seams. It's out of control. No man wants to be with a woman who's going to disrespect him in such manner. That is just absolutely chaotically crazy to think that you would be okay with that. I wouldn't want to be with you in that situation. This is why girl on girl relationships get into fights or whatever, because I would have slapped the heck out of that lady. She talked to me like that, like, you done lost your daggone mind. I'd have accepted the country bunking part because I'm from the South. I kind of understand what you're saying. But when you start calling me stupid and going, you would have been real quick. Okay, don't play with me. All right. That's not what we're going to do. But I'm not condoning physical abuse. I'm just saying, had it been me, Cornelius is a better man than I will ever be. I'll just say that much, okay? All right, so I'll leave it alone. But on the other hand, Cornelius Sweetie, you're sitting here talking on FaceTime with your shirt off. You told the lady that you're going full force for her. Okay. You're sitting here trying to have conversations with other women secretly and act like you're not, because if you notice the scene when he's talking to Sydney, he's talking to her one time, and then when Kamil starts passing behind him, he sits back and starts looking around the room like he's not even having a conversation, like he's just sitting there. Be straight up with her. You got to put your foot down with this type of person. You can't sit here and be passive and then sit in the back on the background, be telling her all kind of other things. You're fueling her fire to continue down this behavior. And that's not good. You don't want it. You want to sit here and talk about how, this is our first fight. So now we're moving too fast. I think we're moving too fast. No, we shouldn't be moving at all after that type of fight. You have a fight like this within the first couple of days of kind of getting to know each other, and all you guys has been on is group dates. You haven't even been on a real solo date together. Brother, get it together. Stop. Just like put your foot down. Stop. Put your foot down and just like really, really talk to that woman, because you was just leading her on to the fullest. So no, he is not no full-on victim in this situation. If he was telling her, this is what I want to date all of these people, but I want to continue to talk to you in this, and mean it, be strong in that stance, then it'd be okay. But we see that he's not even strong in his faithful stance right now. And I'm not going to even get on that part right now. So that's what I got to say about him.
My oh my, there are strong opinions on both sides here. This is an interesting conversation. Okay, I'm hearing it. Hey, listen, nothing wrong with having different opinions, guys. Okay, all right. There's nothing wrong with having different opinions. We see things differently. You know what I'm saying? As long as we don't kill each other, I'm down with the conversation. See where you have see where he's looking at me like she's got rebuts already.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, I know Shawn wasn't talking to me, because the women on the panel didn't even mention the alpha beta thing. I don't even understand alpha beta. If I'm gonna be honest, all this alpha beta sigma gamma, I don't understand it, so I don't mention it. Okay, that wasn't me. But I just want to say, we are humans. We are nuanced. We can talk about different people and different aspects of a conversation without diminishing one thing. So only reason why I talked about Cornelius is because everyone else spent the whole time dragging Kamil. But I would love to talk about Kamil and her Black widowedness and why she's this way, and if she's an actress, or has she killed her past husbands, or what got her to talk to men this way. I mean, I could spend a lot of time talking about that. But the reason why, but we don't have a lot of context on that, and we don't have a lot of context on Cornelius. So to be fair, I would love to know why she has turned into this person acting a fool on the TV. That would be really interesting to know. And I think she should really work on that, because I don't understand how she's gotten this far, talking to anyone that way, an enemy, a man, a friend, a student. That is very abusive, manipulative tactics, and it's very scary, to be clear. I was just interested in why Cornelius is interested in staying. That's about it. And that's what I do with my friendships. I have, unfortunately, friends in abusive situations, and I have to talk to them. I can spend all day talking about the abuser to make, we can talk about that, but I also have to talk to them about why they're staying in this situation so they can get out of it. That's why I spend my focus. You can do the two things at one time. And I'm noticing on the channel, we all get mad if we talk about two different sides. We can do both things. We can have a dual conversation. It helps to be a more well-rounded conversation to talk about all sides. Because if there was no abused person, there could be no abuser, and then vice versa. So it's good to have a conversation and make it nuanced. But I feel you. I'm here for the men. I get it. Kamil is awful, and I don't think there's any debate here. And I do feel like she should be cut off from the head. But sometimes it's best I agree, we should probably try to understand where a person like Kamil comes from, so we can have less abusive type women, because I do believe women go more unnoticed and they can cause a lot of damage. Look at Snapped. It's full of women killing their husbands. So it does need to be checked. So I feel you guys on that. But I don't know nothing about no alpha beta. I just want to be clear about that. I don't understand it.
I say,
appreciate it.
oh, go ahead, Kojo. My bad.
No. Go for it.
I was just gonna say about Camille. I when we first got to meet her on the first episode, I said my theory was why she is the way she is. I'm telling y'all, she got hurt in the past. I mean, it's really nothing more to it. It's not, I don't know what else you can really say for a woman that acts like her. She has been hurt. She wants to control everything, and she wants to make sure everything goes her way in whatever relationship she's in. So she's going to do what she needs to do. Unfortunately, she went to the dark side, as Kojo likes to call it. So she is a man eater. She is going to do what she needs to do to make sure her feelings do not get hurt. Although there are other ways to do that. It doesn't have to be done the way she's doing it. Right? And I don't know, Cornelius, I need him to speak up. That's just where I'm at with it. I mean, and like Onu said, I'm not expecting him to do something that he can't do, but I wish he would. I need him to say something to her because, like I said already, him not saying anything is allowing her to do this, and he got to cut her off real quick because it's gonna get bad. It's already bad, but I don't really have anything else to say about her. She losing it. I don't know. Sis thinks she own a man and she don't, and it's a delusion thing. It's something going on in her brain that thinks that she owns this man and she doesn't. She's way too attached too fast. It's too much too soon, and that is an issue that comes from your past experiences with men, and your past experiences maybe with your father or any other man in your life, or how you've dealt with people. I need Cornelius to get like James from James and the Giant Peach and get up out that web, but I don't know if he got enough spunk to do it. I really need him to like get up out of that web that he is tied up in, because he's tied up in it for sure.
Cool points. I hear. Sure, you want to reply or?
Yeah, no. What I would say is that, and listen, if it don't apply, let it fly. So if it's not you, then it's not you. But at the end of the day, I do definitely see a disproportionate response when we start talking about men and being in situations where they are being abused or treated in a disrespectful manner by women. It is baked and built into the language, the same way that we live in a patriarchal society. And I acknowledge that. And a lot of the language can and is at times misogynistic. That misogyny puts men in a position of power. So when we are not operating in that said power, it is very difficult for people to see it as anything different than we now have that same control to be able to manipulate the situation. But it's just not always the case. And listen, for anybody that's out there that may be misinformed or thinks they know why I speak with this passion, no, I'm not triggered, but I'm also a highly empathetic person. So I can empathize with women, and I can also empathize with men, and I can understand and diagnose and look at and see a situation and wish that we had more of a consensus on how we handle our responses. So that's where the passion is coming from. That's where the fervor is coming from. And yes, I can be upset. Yes, I can raise my voice, but I'm not screaming at anybody. I'm not disrespecting anybody, but I'm saying my point with passion, and that's how I feel. And I don't need everybody to agree with me. I'm good with that. But I do feel that the way I am seeing things, and it's a trend that is developing, is problematic. And that's how I feel. I mean, I don't need the whole world to, co-sign what I'm saying, and that's cool. I think that debate is a great thing. And I think we can all learn from each other. And sometimes when we boil it down and listen to opposing sides, but this is something I feel passionate about.
Appreciate it. Good points. This is a tasty conversation. Okay, look, you know what? This is good conversation, guys. This is good conversations, and I guess I'm seeing both sides, of the coin. I'm getting what this argument reminds me of my dad. Because there are two sides to the coin. There are two sides to this conversation. The conversation that comes down to we have to hold the abuser accountable. And then we offer a solution as to, or at least a reasoning for why Cornelius might stay there, right? And in that conversation, that's where the two sides are coming from, right? And in this conversation, we're trying to be careful not to victim shame, but also at the same time, we're also being very careful not to vacate every accountability that Cornelius is in a situation like this. So I'm seeing both sides. This is why I'm enjoying this conversation, because you know you're where I see where both parties are actually coming from. Do you know what I mean? So we can't let the abuser get off. We can't let the abuser get off. And also at the same time, we can say that if you are in this situation, is there something that he could be doing to be better? Is there something that he can do to not be in this situation? What I would say is that you know, I would say that he's not weak. He has weak boundaries, but he's not weak. Because I think that's what we have to make that distinction, right? He's not weak, he's got weak boundaries, and he needs to work on those boundaries, right? And so that's what he can work on. You know, he can work on being able to establish good boundaries. That's what he can work on. And then the abuser, well, I mean, there's not much to say there, is there really? She's an abuser. Okay. All right. You know, it's I think it's pretty obvious. It's pretty out there. So yeah, I'm seeing both sides. I'm trying to stay out of this one today. You know what I mean? I want to be able to do a proper conversation. I want to stay out of this one. I want to be down the line today. I want to be able to conduct the conversation. So let's we'll do after talks so I can get involved. But right now I want to stay down the line so we can keep a good conversation. So I appreciate both sides. Please, nobody be offended. I know you're all giving your opinions, and it's very strong from each side. Everybody's giving their feelings. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, let's consider good conversations going on. Okay. All right, cool. Yes. Any last thoughts on that? Cornelius and Kamil, any last thoughts anybody want to give? If not, we'll shift it on to another couple.
Kamil needs to go.
Hashtag. I appreciate that. Okay, cool. Love that. I said anything for us to chat, I'll take it. Corey. All right, cool. Let's move on to another couple then. In terms of conversation, Sydney and Shawn, they both came in. Sydney and Shawn both came in, but came in and had different impacts. Sydney and Shawn came in and had different impacts. And I want to get your thoughts on both of them, Sydney and Shawn, what you thought of their impacts coming in, you know, to the actual group. So if I can get some thoughts around that, guys, who wants to go first for me this time? Who hasn't gone first yet? Oh, but you braving it. No, you can go if you're feeling brave to go for it.
Yeah, I'll just go. I like Sydney. She came in confident, you know, being herself. Pretty. I mean, I don't know what else to say about her. She came in knowing who she was. What's the other guy's name? This is the problem with the guys. They're boring. I can't remember their name.
Shawn.
Thank you, Shawn. Okay. My only issue with Shawn was that because he's handsome, but when he talked about his job, it wasn't giving me enough. I needed more. He said he was a creative and he creates stuff. I need to know more on a dating show, right? I have to at least have an idea of what you got going on in regards to a career. Because see, at the bottom it said, under his name it said journalist. He mentioned journalist and some other stuff too. I just wish he was a little more definitive. Like he gave a concrete answer of what he does. Now he probably has more than one stream of income. That's about the only thing that I could get from that, but it wasn't like specific enough for me. However, he seems to know what he wants as well. And we know him and Alicia probably not going to work because he wants kids and Alicia doesn't. I don't think anything's wrong with Alicia not wanting kids, but we'll leave that for another conversation. But overall, I like both of them.
Love that. Cheers, Brittany. Okay. Let me ask one of the man them, you know, what their thought was on Sydney. You know what I'm saying? What your thought was Was she good? Was she bad? What was your thoughts there, Corey? You look like you're ready to go. Choosing the right time there. I see that still. Go for it, Cap.
All right, so my thoughts about Sydney. One, I think she's attractive. I wouldn't necessarily consider her to be a baddie, but she is attractive. What I did not like is that when she came in, or when she came out, I would say, the women's reactions. None of the women had confidence that they would want to keep their man at that point. I don't like that. You know what I mean? They saw her and all of us, they had that turn their nose up at her. I don't like that. Like, if you have a connection with someone, bet on that connection. You know, don't think that someone else can come in and steal your connection away. That's just how I feel. You know, if they can steal him away, he wasn't yours in the beginning. So I don't like the lack of confidence from the women. When Sydney came out, when Shawn came out, the women didn't look too pleased. You know, they of course they might like his body and whatnot, respect to that. But I didn't get the sense that the women were just in awe of Shawn. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong when it comes to that, but I think that the women were underwhelmed when it came to Shawn. They said nice things because I believe producers, whatever, tell them to do so. But for me, I just didn't get that vibe from them. But more and more I saw Sydney and heard her talk, I felt like she's an attractive girl. Saw her up close and said, okay, she's an attractive girl. The outfit she wore when she got everybody together, I don't know. You know, yeah, there's definitely some cargo going on there. But I'm sorry, I'm being a man right now. She's a pretty girl. You know, we're going to see a little bit further on down the line, you know, if she has, you know, the personality that the men need in order for that to be like a successful relationship. But I can't say that, okay, she's attractive, but Shawn, it just didn't give me those. He didn't get to the women like Sydney got to the men.
I'm hearing you loud and clear, brother. Loud and clear. I about to say cargo, you know. It's a new word, cargo. Okay, I hear you, sir. Let me get one of the ladies to talk about the Shawn effect. You know, did the creative bar that he said, did that make you think he was broke? You know what I'm saying? Was that making you think that he don't have money? You know? Chris, nothing. You're nodding your head. Go for it. Okay.
Well, what I was going to say was that I think that's what Britt was trying to say. Like, be clear. How do you make your coin, right? And so I think that's what Britt was trying. The point she was trying to make earlier. Yes. I'm not sure. I think he said he's an actor as well. Don't know if he's a successful actor. Not sure, right? We don't know what that looks like, but that's what he said. I think he mentioned that as well. But with Shawn, I think he's a pretty good looking guy. He has a nice body. That's all I could really say about it. That's it. I saw that he was talking a lot with Sydney herself because the other ladies kind of like moved out the way. KAMIL and I forget the other young lady who was there in that pool area. But with Sydney, yes, I saw all the guys' face, when she came out. They were like, oh. So yeah, I do agree with Corey that the women were like, what's going on? And the men were excited. So she is a cute girl. She seems like she has a cool personality, but we'll see more. I would like to see how her knowing Frank, how that changes or affects, if it does, his connection with AISHA. Because she did mention that they're both in the nightlife. And she's known Frank for a couple of years. So I look forward to seeing if that changes anything for Frank and AISHA, because it looks like they had a good connection. However, him knowing Sydney, I'm not sure if that's going to change things or not. So I look forward to seeing what happens. It's interesting to bring in two new people at this point in the game. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Thank you, Chris and Arthur. Appreciate that. Two new people coming through and moving mad. Okay. Siwei, I know you're not trying to look at me. I know you're intentionally trying to look away. So, what's your thoughts on Sean? I know she's gonna call him the D word, but yeah, what do you think about Sean?
I don't know if he has a job or not. I'm not sure. So I can't call. First of all, Dusty has nothing to do with your profession. For all the men in the back who still don't understand that, so
We're gonna need a definition.
look, that is not what we mean by Dusty. But I did learn from Sean. He educated me that Dusty has a particular definition that we weren't really using correctly. So I will retire the word when talking about someone unrelated to their financial acumen. Okay, so I learned that now. But yeah, we don't know if he has a job or not. He's an entrepreneur, like Frank is an entrepreneur. We don't know if Frank got a job either. So I'm gonna just not comment on his profession. But overall, he seemed like he came in with good vibes. He came in with good vibes. I really liked his conversation with what is AISHA, right? What's the name? Yeah, I really enjoyed their conversation. It was a very mature conversation. It was unfortunate that they both couldn't match up with the kids situation. But yeah, I think he came off really genuine. And I'm interested to see how it goes, who he matches up with, seeing that he's in a range where he still wants kids, and to see how that works out. So yeah, I didn't mind him. I think he was a breath of fresh air. I can see them getting rid of him too, but I didn't mind him. At least he know how to have a regular conversation, which is more than I can say for a lot of the people on this show. So, but I'll be interested to also see what he actually does for a living, as well as Frank.
Hear that, Seaway. Hear that, Stone. Shout out to Phil Good. He says Sydney said entrepreneur, meaning what? The men weren't bothered what her job was. You understand? Yeah? They're not bothered. She looked good. They're not bothered. I'll be honest with you. They're not even asking that question. Because if she said entrepreneur and he's saying creative, they're in the same boat. What does entrepreneur mean? Doesn't mean anything. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, but the man them don't care. She looks pretty. So they're going to let her get away with it for now. And when they try to probably get to know her a bit more, if she doesn't tell them an effective job, I'm sure somebody will pull up on it. So, you know what I mean? Bree.
Hey, I like the two new people that came. I'm still trying to figure out why they came, and they just got rid of 4 other people, but whatever. But I do like them. Man, I do like Shawn and AISHA. I really think they would, make a good match. But unfortunately, the kid topic, that's something that you can't bend on. So either, if that person wants kids and then that person is done, they don't want it. I think it is mature for them to just kind of go their separate ways because it's not going to work. That's something that you can't compromise on. But I really wish I could have saw more. I mean, who knows, child. But Sydney, I like her. I like her vibe and everything, the way she came in. She was very upbeat and personable. And things like that. And she is a very pretty woman as well. So I saw the guys like checking her out. I don't think the women necessarily was like hating or didn't have any confidence about it. I just think they're like, oh, okay, we got a little competition. But that's just me. I didn't really see too much of that. Maybe there is probably a few, but majority, I don't think felt any type of way about it, but I like her. I am interested to see her journey with Frank because it seems like now she's got his eyes. And so we'll see if he really does have that strong connection with AISHA still, now that Sydney's in the picture. And I'm also interested to see what other connections that she'll make with other people. I don't really see her and Shawn kind of hitting it off in any way. But we'll see. But I do like the 2 new addition. I think they were very positive, and they are attractive people, so that's nice. And we'll see where this goes, and hopefully they can spice up this season because I'm still trying to get into it. So we'll see what happens. So that's my take on it.
I love that. Thank you very much, Bree. Appreciate that. Good vibes. Okay. Anu, what are you saying about Sydney?
I mean, I'm really happy that they're shaking up this season, adding 2 new characters I guess mid season or after the dust settles down. I think she's an attractive person. We don't know much of her, so I'm guessing I'm trying to learn more. I do think majority of those women are intimidated by her, based maybe by her, definitely by her looks per se, but we don't know much about her. Her interaction or her mixing with other people, still getting to know stage. I want to see her on a date with other people. I did appreciate Sean's and Aisha's date this episode as well. I think he listens. He's very just he is able to communicate and express his feelings with someone else. And again, I appreciate the conversation Aisha has to say. I think I guess I'm gonna learn more about both these characters next couple of weeks. It's too soon for me to make a comment. One of the things I was drawing back from the Aisha Shawn conversation is like, again, Shawn's 44. He wants to have children. Aisha, she's been very adamant about not wanting to have children. We got to see a lot more of that this episode. A lot of these men still want to have children, and she's kind of on the fence of not wanting to have children. So again, like, I'm not sure how long she's gonna last if that's the case. Because even and most of them have children, but even Frank wants to have more children. So I know that couldn't be something that might use slight against her for going home. But we don't know. I don't know enough about to see how much that's going to be true moving forward. We'll get ready to see. I appreciate watching Shawn's and Aisha's date on television. I wish we see more dates like that not toxic, actually people actually getting along and actually showing interest with each other. We have to see where it goes from here. I mean,
Appreciate that, Oni. Appreciate that. Solid. Okay. Jay, what's your thoughts? The impact of Shawn and Sydney, specifically more Shawn, but yeah, go for it.
I have a question I have opinion on both. I appreciate the 2 new bodies. They both were beautifully aesthetically pleasing to the eye. Sydney has beautiful skin complexion. I love it or whatnot. And she was very bubbly, which was quite interesting to me because Frank gravitated to her real quickly, but he complained about Libba in the beginning. So I was just like lost for words on that part. I don't know how that worked out, I guess, because there's already attraction there from him knowing her and seeing her around. Could be it or whatnot. So that was just interesting to me to see that happen. Shawn, I don't count people's pockets. That's what I don't do. I only worry about my own coins. So what he got in the bank is not my concern unless we start dating and he wants to continuously buy me things. That's the only time I'm going to worry about his spending habits. Okay. So that's all I got to say about his pockets. But as far as his conversation goes, it was very nice and mature from him to have a nice grown man conversation, even when he was engaging with the 4 ladies and trying to have a conversation with them as a group. Though it seemed like KAMIL and I can't think of the other one, Zadia, were trying to push them together to try to push them off so they have to worry about they men or whatnot. Because, KAMIL is not secure about Cornelius and she already seen him googly eye over Sydney as soon as she walked in. So we already know how that's going to go and play out. If she's not gone by next week, Cornelius might be gone the week after. We have to sit here and wear some black outfits for him soon. But, as far as him and Aisha talking, I really respected that conversation. She doesn't want to have kids. There's an excerpt on why she doesn't want to have kids on the little clip of why she doesn't want to have them. Maybe it'll come on next week. But I appreciate it because it was a grown, mature conversation. When you're really looking for somebody, you have these kind of talks right off the bat. And there's a way, you'll have the finance talk, but there is a way to bring it about. You don't do a KAMIL and just be like, what's your money looking like? What's your pockets looking like? You don't do it like that. You work it into the conversation. You have some tact about that part. But you do want to talk about if you want kids, don't want kids. Do you see yourself married? What are some goals? Do we have the same religious behaviors? These are the things that you do talk about when you're really serious about being in a relationship with somebody. So I do appreciate them actually having the conversation, even though at the end, they may not work out. Don't know yet, because if you see the little clip, you'll understand she might have a possibility in there. But she said she want to be butt naked on the beach, so we're gonna let her be butt naked on the beach.
Appreciate that. Thank you very much, Jay. Appreciate that. Sean, what's your thoughts?
Sure. So we're still talking about Sydney, right? Or have we moved on? I'm confused.
Oh, we're still talking
I
about
know
Sydney.
Aisha came up a little too.
We still talking about Sydney.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So absolutely. I thought she was a breath of fresh air. Very, very attractive, obviously, beautiful body. She had also a nice personality. She seemed to be open. I like the fact that, she kind of worked the pool area a little bit and talked to a variety of different people. So I thought that was great energy in an environment like this. I think let's see how she plays it out. No disrespect. Her voice was a little, annoying, but I think that could be overlooked over time. But but her personality was bomb for sure. And that's what I saw of her. I think she'll go far in this because obviously, the fellas are looking. She's, got everybody's attention.
Love that. Thank you very much, Cap. Good points there. Sydney's got an awfully little bit of energy, you know what I mean? Full of vibes, full of life, you know what I mean? So I appreciate that for that energy still. Who hasn't spoken about Sydney and Sean? I think everyone's gone, isn't it? Everyone's gone. Is there any other extra thoughts? Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. I just want to give a shout out to Sean because the way he did with those flowers was very thoughtful. And he knew the meaning of the flowers. He knew her birth flowers. He paid attention to that conversation that they had. And I think a lot of women would appreciate a guy like that who shows the intent, who shows a thoughtfulness, and the follow through that he did with that. And the way he explained it to her showed her something about him. If it wasn't for the kids thing, I think that this would have been locked in.
Would you roll on that? Yeah, he did a good job on that, to be honest. You know what I mean? He did a really good job. The flowers thing was actually a mad thing. Actually, I forgot about that, Forgot about that. Hey, you see, the ladies always, sometimes they be saying that we don't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? The man, he can correct, Sean, isn't it? Yeah, he can correct. Yeah. Ladies, you want to talk about the flowers, or is it too basic for you? Is it a little bit cheap? Is it?
Don't do that, Kojo. Don't do that. Don't do
Yeah,
that.
I'm not a flowers girl, but I
Look, I'm about to tell you, you can go to sleep. Go get your blanket, boo, because now you're shining.
look, I tell you, I'm not a flowers girl like that, but I did appreciate the gesture, and I did appreciate him knowing the colors for the flower and remember her kids' ages. It was a lot of tentativeness that she was surprised that he even remembered in the brief conversation that they had. So kudos to that brother.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. I like that he paid attention, and certain people can take notes about flowers. You don't if you want to do white flowers, you can mix it up with a little passion and do red. From last season, Raised in Love. Not to say no names or nothing. That's all.
Not the flower gate. I hear you on that. Okay, cool. No worries. So what flowers, ladies, do you guys like? What kind of flowers? Just asking for a friend.
What was your question?
What kind of flowers?
You see that? You see that, Cole?
Nothing. Corey, relax. I like orchids and I like roses.
How about you, Jay?
I like the kind I could season my meat with, like rosemary, thyme.
Look, sis says she a chef, so take her to her knees. Okay?
Now I have this thing right now. There's a place out here called Dose of Roses, and I like that. They're rose petals dipped in gold, so I kind of like those right now, and they're my forever roses. So if you're gonna give me something, I don't want something that's gonna die. I want something that lasts forever. So
wow, okay, how much does that cost? That sounds expensive.
It's like $19 a rose,
Oh damn, $19 a rose.
You get one.
Yeah.
They last forever, Sean. I don't need it to go on and on.
Just one single. What about one single rose?
Sean, don't
Better have some pockets.
Yeah.
I'm already starting the collection, Sean. Mind your business.
You gonna cash up that thing, boy. Seaway, any particular flowers that you like?
I like roses, tulips, hydrangeas. And I love my box of roses, the ones you see on Instagram that all the IG models got. I still have my like
roses.
The Forever Roses, whatever it is, the Lux, what's called Lux. I don't know what the type, but I still got them in a box, and they last like a year or two, and they're so pretty. Oh. They're a lot of money, but they're really. I like looking at them. They're like decorations, and I still have them. So.
No, it didn't come out your wallet, so it's not a lot of
money.
Those
are definitely worth it, though. I got some for my mother. You're right. They are worth it. I love those.
I love that. Okay, Orca's got roses. All right,
cool. What you trying to get this information for? What you sourcing?
Don't worry about that. Krishnatha, what's yours?
I like roses, I like tulips, and I like orchids.
Okay, Mandem, I've gathered the data for you, so you know what to do now. Send those flowers to those people's addresses. I'm joking.
That's right. Yes.
Don't send it to their address. You don't know what their address is. So if you know their addresses, we're a bit scared. So, yeah. So. Just cash app them. All right, so thank you for that little section of things as well. Appreciate that, guys. Who have we missed off? So obviously the Frank Aisha situation with Shawn and Frank Aisha, Shawn and Aisha, and obviously Sydney and Frank. So they had a little bit of that kind of interchange that was going on as well. Frank was a little bit jealous over. Was a little bit jealous over Shawn and Aisha's little interaction, but he had his own little side thing going on with Sydney. You know what I mean? Sydney all rubbing up on his bicep and saying how good he looks and everything like that. But to be honest, he didn't like do anything back. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe he's sold on Aisha. Maybe he really is sold on Aisha. I don't know. But want to kind of get you guys' thoughts. Frank was in Sydney's grill. I want to get you guys' thoughts on Frank, Sydney, Aisha, and Shawn. What are your kind of thoughts on that as well? Who wants to go first? Who wants their flowers? Orchids, is it you? Roses, is it you? Forever roses? Who wants to go first?
Forever Roses will go first.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Like I said before, it was quite interesting how Frank gravitated to Sydney, being that he don't like the bubbly personality. She's a beautiful girl and things, but her personality is a bit bubbly. They have seen each other, so they say, in their field of work. I don't know what exactly she do. Maybe she's a bar girl, like a bottle girl or something. And so that's probably how they see each other. I don't know. But there's an attraction there. The irony is Aisha said her energy, the new people, is not changing her energy. She's not worried. So where Corey said that all the women was feeling insecure, Aisha definitely wasn't insecure about nobody else stepping in. She is very secure in her position. That's what I love about her. That's a girl of my own heart. She's not worried about anybody else in the room. She's worried about herself. And so that's all she was focused on. And she said that it's not going to change her view of Frank at this point. Now, Shawn came in strong and heavy with the game, and he was still on the same thing that Frank was on. There's an unfortunate side that he wants children. She don't. So it probably would be a little bit more competition for Frank, even though Frank doesn't know this right now. But because she's kind of checked him out, Shawn out, then, he's still in the clear. The only other thing I wanted to go back on Shawn, I didn't understand why most of the ladies voted him like at the bottom during the thing. I don't understand why. The only one I got was Aisha's because of the children reason. And, maybe a couple other women don't want children, but that's the only real reason I got from it. But we'll see how it continues. I don't see Aisha being too threatened about Frank and his relationship with Sydney at all. But, if she continues to go out with Shawn, we'll see how that works for Frank.
Love that. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Corey, what's your thoughts, man? Talk to me, man.
Which part? When it comes to
We can choose either one. Sydney of. Let me go. Okay, let me go. Let's go with Shawn Aisha then. Let's go with Shawn Aisha.
Yeah, Shawn Aisha, I like their vibe. And I think I like conversations where you can be completely honest about what you want from your partner, from your future partner. I think they did a good job of communicating that to each other. I do think that Aisha's connection with Frank, I don't know how that would play into everything. So I think it's going to kind of go back to that. I don't know if Frank is going to be into Sydney as much as into Aisha. So it's going to be very interesting to see exactly, how that plays out. But I do like the Shawn Aisha dynamic where they have that conversation. But Aisha also had a good vibe with Frank, shooting pool in the photo booth and all that. So it's going to be interesting to see. But I just can't put my finger on it as far as which way she'll let. We already know Shawn's not going to be the guy because of the kids. But I think Aisha's going to have that connection with somebody else moving forward. So we'll be able to see.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, Cap. Yeah, the audience just want you to keep on talking, bro. So, we'll just leave you on after we finish the live and you just talk to the audience and, they they enjoy themselves for a few hours or whatever. Yeah, Bree, talk to me. Aisha, Shawn, what are you saying?
Sorry, I'm over here thinking about what I'm going to eat after this. My mind. Sorry, I'm just hungry. Okay, so you said Aisha and Shawn?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So with Shawn and Aisha, like I said earlier, oh man, I really like them together. I liked their conversation. I really do think it was important for them to have that deep conversation about what you want out of your relationship and the whole topic of kids. It is unfortunate that I don't know. I feel like Shawn probably is going to teeter with her a little bit more for the next few weeks just because he really likes her. But I don't think he should because you know what you want. You know you want kids and she knows what she wants and she doesn't want kids. So I think it's easier for her to let him go because she knows like I'm not trying to go there. But I think for him, I think Shawn is still going to try to hold on to her for a little bit more. Which you should never do because you can't change someone's mind about that and you shouldn't. And just like they shouldn't change your minds about, not having kids. So I'm interested to see that dynamic. I really like them, but it's just like that. But, they're just not on the same page about it. So we'll see what happens with them. I'm interested to see. And also this whole Frank thing. I know he's kind of feeling Sydney, but I do think he still is more interested in Aisha. So we'll see how this little, I don't know, I wouldn't call it a triangle yet, but we'll see how this works out in the next few weeks. Hashtag I'm hungry. So that's all I got.
No worries, Bree. Listen, once you finish this, just turn off your camera, go grab yourself a little something, come back. You know what I'm saying? If by the time you sat down and eat your food, it would have come back round to you for the next conversation. So you're good. You know what I'm saying? Take this time out. Yeah, just blank your camera and go and chow some food. Never a problem. You feel me? We don't want you hungry on this panel. Because I'm not giving you no food. So who's willing to go next then? Who wants to take on the mantle? Huh? Who wants to take on the mantle? I know you're looking at me, Chris Natha, you're looking at me. Who wants it? Oh, go for it, Chris Natha. Go for it.
Thank you. Thanks, Onu. I think that I like the way that Shawn came in and he was super intentional about asking questions to Aisha. He seemed super like locked in, focused, and he seems sincere. We don't know his heart, but he seems sincere. And so I liked their interaction and I liked her honesty. And because that's a really big deal. Children are a very, very, very big deal. And so I like that she was super honest about that. And Sydney, once again, I think she's a very cute girl. I really do. I don't know if Frank, though they are familiar because they both kind of work in the nightlife. I don't know if he really wants a relationship with someone else in the nightlife. I think there needs to be a balance, like do different things. I'm not sure exactly what she does, but they do similar things. With Shawn, I know he's 42 or 44. So there's a few women there that wants children. We would have to kind of go down the line, but he needs to really kind of find out who that is and start to talk to them and see if there's a connection there. I do still think Frank is into Aisha and kind of focused there. I think seeing Sydney was, she's cute. He knows her. Let's talk. Let's connect. And she was complimenting him, and they had a moment. But I really think he'll be leaning more to Aisha, in my opinion, over time. But we will see, because we could be wrong, right? So it'll be interesting to see how that develops and unfolds. But I think with Aisha, I think it's important that she's with somebody who really understands that, because most of the men on the show, it seems like, want children. So it's important that they are connected with someone who wants them too. So yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how everything develops.
Appreciate that, Chris Natha. Appreciate that, Chris Natha. Love that. Love that. Bree, did you get the message? That's right. Fantastic. All right. Thank you, Chris Natha. Thank you, Chris Natha. Yes. Yes. Anu, go for it, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Frank kind of took a back seat this episode. We'll see what happens. I'm kind of curious what happens between Frank and Sydney moving forward. Like, Frank likes Aisha. He seemed even jealous that Shawn was talking to Aisha. So we'll see what happens. However, Frank said that, he wants to see how things progress forward, and he's still interested. So we'll see what happens. With that, we'll wait. I'm still waiting to see.
Nah, Anu. Yo, Anu, you're falling. When you're deep in sleep, that is what happens to Anu. Anu, you are asleep, bro. He said, you know what? Hey, I guess that, bro. Listen, that was me on Thursday. Bro. Don't worry. I ain't even mad at you, bro. That was me on Thursday. It's okay. I'll come back to you, bro, when you recovered. You might want to go get yourself some water. Just refresh yourself, bro.
Oh no, go get you a blanket. That's all you're missing. Go get your blanket, put it on your head real quick.
He actually went. He was struggling. He's like trying to throw the words together. I could tell that he's struggling. I was like, bro, I hear you.
There's nothing much. There's nothing much to say about Frank this episode. I just watched the jealous guy get jealous about another guy talking to his girl. So we'll see what happens next week. What else do you want me to say?
Nothing else, bro. You're good.
Oh no, we understand your struggle, honey. I get it. I get it.
Oh no, we know your job is a very hard job. So to come and do this as well, we appreciate you, bro. Don't worry about that, bro. We got you covered, man. Don't worry, man. You're going to take that nap, man. Just turn off the screen. You know what I did on Thursday? Turn off the screen and come back in 10. Don't worry about that, bro. Ain't no one gonna say that. You got to take a break when you got to take a break, bro. See, wait, go for it.
I'm still stuck on you and that traveling blanket. That blanket was everywhere.
I saw the picture that you lot took when I was asleep, guys. Shocking. Wait till I get you lot back. I'm gonna get y'all back. Don't worry.
You were dozing, okay, and then you was not.
See, taking photos is the worst because she's the one that be sleeping. She be there like.
I cut the camera off though.
I've caught you a few times. See, wait. Sorry. Yeah, go for it.
The topic. Yeah, I don't have much except for remember how we were talking about how we don't know if Frank is very sincere in his appeal towards Aisha. He was like, you could be into Sydney because Sydney's cute. She's a cute girl, right? But he was just a little bit too thirsty for my taste for someone who had such a strong connection with Aisha. That was my only takeaway. He was really over there ready to shake his little salt shakers down there over to Sydney. So I don't know. Frank is looking like Frank was looking. He's looking like he'll say any and everything. So I'm waiting to see what happens with that. And I don't know, does Frank want kids? Can someone answer me that?
I'm not sure, you know. I actually don't know. That's true. I don't remember him saying.
Mid-30s. So I'm just trying to figure out why, because I know Aisha had this like very like intentional conversation with Shawn, but I don't remember. I don't think they ever showed. I'm pretty sure they had it, but they didn't really show the intentional conversation with Frank. All we got like was kisses in the photo booth. So I'm just trying to figure out like if they align, because Aisha seems like a very straightforward, solid individual, and I'm just trying to figure out what she's gonna do with Frank. But I could have missed that. They just didn't film that. But that's pretty much all I have. I want to see if Frank is gonna flock towards Sydney 100%, or is he gonna keep working on this situation with Aisha? I don't know if he has kids, wants kids, because that's gonna be a big deal. So.
Good points. Yeah, I actually don't remember if they did have that conversation. You know, I'm not gonna lie to you. I do not remember if they had that kids conversation. But she was very, very intentional with Shawn. So I'm assuming that she probably would have had that conversation with thingy. I think she did have the conversation with Carrington though. I think she did have that conversation with Carrington. So I think she is being consistent in terms of having that conversation. So yeah. But yeah, good points there. See where I'll look into that a little bit further. Shawn, what are you saying, bro? Frank, Sydney, Shawn, Aisha, connections. What are you saying?
Yeah, I definitely like the conversation that Aisha and Shawn had. You know, it seemed to, you know, really be focused around what we think when we think about watching Ready to Love, right? It's setting them up for what's your future look like. And I got to give Aisha credit. You know, she is a great conversationalist. She knows how to weave in those questions and get to the bottom of the things without it seeming like an interrogation. So I got to really, you know, she has game, you know, and I think that's just like who she is. So I definitely appreciate her approach. You know, let's see where Shawn lands. But you know, it was interesting to see his interaction with some of the other ladies. But, you know, the one that left the biggest impression was with Aisha, because I think they had that conversation so early on. And I appreciate that, because you want to get to the bottom of that if you're moving forward, right? If you're going to be in a long relationship, right? You want to know if the person wants to have kids. And so I'm glad she got that out the way very early on. His answer was a little odd. You know, I don't know if it was direct or, you know, he kind of, you know, I don't know if he actually answered it directly, but I like that, you know, she approached that. So I think they brought them in just to spice things up, the both of them. And I'm interested to see where it goes. I think Frank and, you know, Sydney seems like he's got a, you know, he seems to be a bit of a ladies' man in the way that he engages with the women. You know, his little drink shake is a whole meme out here right now. So, you know, let's see where that goes. And I think it's interesting because Frank was kind of watching on the sidelines, seeing Shawn and Aisha's connection, but he didn't bug out. You know, he just was like, all right, let me, you know, let me see where else I could potentially see if there's other connections for me. So I think those two are gonna, you know, make it further down to the end from what I see so far.
Thank you very much, Shawn. Appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah, Frank and Aisha's conversation was very mature as well. So I'm with you on that, bro. I'm with you on that. Who hasn't spoken? Oh, no, you don't. So I'm being paid. Let me stop. All right. Oh, Brittany, I forgot. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I've been just so focused on bantering you. I actually forgot to bring you into the conversation.
And I'm over here checking on you with your sleep. Don't talk to me. Your camera just facing that way for me, so don't worry about it. Actually, here it is. Don't talk to me. Anyway, Aisha and Shawn. I don't know. I was talking to Dr. Nundy the other night. Shawn was on too, and we were in Seaway. We were talking about how Shawn is not. I don't know if he's really that interested in her. I feel like he's still trying to have fun. He was the last date they were on. He was doing a little too much for me with the speech that he gave her. It was giving like HBCU pageant speech when you first come on the stage. If you went to an HBCU, you know how those pageant introductions go. But he was saying a lot, but it wasn't genuine, right? And we've all talked about not being sure if he's genuine or not. However, you know, if a man likes a woman, even slightly, he's still gonna feel a little, you know, I don't want to say possessive, but like, you know, that's my girl, I was talking to her first type of feeling. So he may be feeling like that, but I don't know if he really want to take on the responsibility of being somebody's stepfather. I'm not sure if he wants to do that because they haven't even had that conversation yet. How hasn't that happened, right? And with I'm sorry, not Shawn. I meant Frank. Now Shawn and Aisha, they just went straight in because that's an important topic when children are involved and you want to get married. So I'm glad that they had that conversation and got it out the way. Now I don't know how this is gonna go from here, but Aisha is very like strong on her point with not having any more kids because she said she had kids at a young age. Everybody else was out pop locking and dropping it. She didn't get a chance to do all that. So now she wants to have fun and live her life, which I understand. You know, it's her time to live her life. And she got teenagers. They on their way out. So, and that's a lot of work having another baby on a woman. I'm not saying that the man won't take care of the baby, but she don't know him like that to really know how things will go if they do bring another child into the situation. So, you know, it's a matter of chance with that, but I don't think Aisha will go for it, even though Shawn seems to be a great guy if he were to if they were to have kids together. Yeah, but Frank and Aisha, I don't know. And then if you bring Sydney into the picture with Frank, they got good chemistry, you know. Yes, they know each other already, but I just got to see how that goes. Because if they haven't done anything and they've known each other, what's going to change now? I don't know if Sydney is really into him though. I don't think Sydney is really that into him. If they see each other around, I feel like if she wasn't in a relationship, she would have given him a chance. But at this point, if they've known each other for this long. So those are my opinions on them. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really think Frank is that into Aisha. They just have good chemistry. They have fun together.
Appreciate that, Brittany. Sound words as well. Well, you lot spent her in the chat. It's crazy. Jay, do you want to I just saw the thing. All I could think of was. I'm sorry. Jay, go for it. It's a personal joke, guys. Sorry, we're having chat. Go for it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, I'll drop a small clip on why Aisha doesn't want to have kids. It's actually quite sad. She said that, you know, with her 2 children that she has now, she had rough pregnancies, almost lost them 2, and then she lost another. And she told this to Phil, and she had a whole breakdown behind it. So it's not that she totally doesn't want to have more children. She's just afraid that she won't be able to give it to him. And like most women that go through a miscarriage or several miscarriages, you kind of don't want to keep doing that bringing that emotional scar onto yourself. And so I get why she's in a position. Is more so of just being afraid that she won't be able to give a successful, go through a successful pregnancy for somebody. And she don't want to put them through it if, you know, she doesn't have to.
Appreciate you sharing that, Jay. Yeah, that gives us a bit more better context actually in terms of her not just want to have. I think it's very similar to. It sounded very similar to. I think was it season 1 with Shay and Mike. I think she had similar kind of reasoning as to why she didn't want to also have kids as well. Shay and Mike in the first or second season, I remember. So yeah, a very very real situation and real conversation there between herself and Phil. That's part of the extras that was on their on their own website, isn't it, as well? That came out. Yeah, they're on. Yeah, I didn't watch it, but I saw it had come out earlier on. Okay, thank you. Appreciate for sharing that perspective. It gives us a bit more of an insight into Aisha. All right. I can't think of anyone else was on the show that needs to be discussed. Was there anybody else? Any important thing that I've missed out, guys? Anything that wanted to be discussed that was important? No. Fantastic. All right, cool. All right, so let me get everybody's conclusion on this episode. Get your final thoughts, and then we'll get Master Shawn to do the benediction, unless he wants to pass it again to someone else tonight. But so I'll start from Jay. Jay, if you can give us just a 1 minute breakdown, real quick. Give us a little breakdown.
Need to see more Phil. Don't know where he's at. Like to get more of that brother. That'd be great. Kamil, I think your time is up next week, but we'll see, because you're not making no real connections with anybody outside of Cornelius. And once he's done, he's done. They're only keeping you because of him. Shawn and Sydney, thank you for shaking up the cast. We're gonna see how it goes from here with everybody on that part. Sabrina, don't know where you've been, girl. Need to see some more of you as well. Zadia, you too. Don't know where you're at. Like to know more of you. I don't know where half the damn cast is. Shoot, can we see more people? Shoot, that's all I'm gonna say. Dang, I don't know. I'm forgetting names at this point.
Thank you very much, Jay. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. We didn't see Walter, we didn't see Sabrina. There was a few I feel we didn't get to see much of. Like, it's odd. There's like so many people on the singing. They're not maximizing the time, it feels like. So yeah. Corey, give us your final summary. So 1 minute summary. Give us your final summary.
Well, I do agree with Jay when she said we needed to hear and see more from some of the contestants on the show. For me, I'd like to see more from Shiloh. She does a lot of talk about intimacy, but I want to see if there's another layer to her. Walter, I want to see more of him as well. Tasia didn't see much of her in this episode either. It was a lot of people that were missing. But what I'm really interested to see is MUMEN. I want to see where she's going to go now that Corey's gone. What's going to be in the cards for her. So looking forward to seeing that, as well as some other contestants on this show. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me, man. I appreciate everybody for watching and listening. Show support. Please go follow and subscribe to Black Made Media on YouTube. Thank you.
Seaway.
Yeah, I'm kind of, this season has just been odd. It's been giving odd vibes. But I definitely agree. I would like to see more of the cast. I always forget her name, Tasia, whatever the crap. She only popped up when she was being messy. We only heard of her like a myth in the night when she was starting stuff about the notes. She's been MIA. MUMEN. Where is Naeem? We barely saw Dante and his 5 kids. We didn't see Zadia. Like it's just a whole bunch of people that really don't have like major roles. But maybe now that Corey and his antics are gone, we'll be able to see more people. I also feel like Sabrina, I don't know who she's connected with at all. Phil's gone. Yeah. So I'll be interested to see what happens. But they added 2 people, so I don't know if it's gonna really help with the airtime, because there's still a lot of people on here and we're not getting conclusions and real concrete stories. I still don't feel like we know each of these characters very well. We're still on the surface. So I hope for next week we can get into, more context of people's characters, but I'm not hopeful. So we'll see.
Thank you very much, Seaway. Brittany, talk to me, man.
I was gonna hit Tisa as well. She the only one we really didn't hit because her attitude is just subpar for me. I feel like she could take a little more accountability to when it comes to, criticism, and people are really trying to let her know what she could do better. However, she does not want to. So that's on her. And I feel like she's going to walk out the door with an attitude, honestly. I mean, she's a cool person. However, when it comes to people telling her what's wrong with her, she don't want to take it. She don't want to hear it. And, usually that'll hinder you, especially in dating. So I hope things get better for her. That's about it. And Ono, who's this child on your profile picture? That's it.
I was just trying to laugh about taking a cat nap. That's all.
For the white kid?
It's all good, fine, man.
Okay. No worries, bro. You are finishing me today, Onu. You are finishing me. Bree. Your 1 minute summary.
Oh my gosh, yo, can it shout out to the chat because y'all had me hollering tonight. Y'all are too funny. I'm sorry, I'm cracking up. Okay, so my final thoughts on this show is, I don't know if it's just me, it's a drag. Like, I need y'all to do something. Like, please keep my attention. And just like everyone's saying, I forgot about half of the cast. I don't even know what's going on with them. I don't remember names or nothing. So I just need this show to pick up, just give me something more. Give me something I can feel, something. But I'm interested with the people I do remember to see where their journeys are going to go, what's going to happen, just something. That's really all that I have, but those are my final thoughts on Ready to Love.
Thank you again, Brie. Krishnatha.
Similar to what Seaway said, I would love to see deeper conversations, really real good questions being asked. So I feel like they're not really getting to really know each other. I feel like the questions are very surface level. And so I would like to have hear really great questions from the cast to one another. I also doubt that will happen. I think it was a nice shakeup with Sydney and Shawn. So let's see what happens with that. For MUMEN, I want her to actually figure out what she really wants, so that she's just not open to whoever chooses her, but that she connects with the right person. And Sabrina, I didn't see much of her, but I don't know if there's a guy there for her. It seems like all the guys want children. And I know that she also doesn't want any. So we'll see what happens with that as well. But I think she's a fabulous woman. And so, yeah, let's see what happens. And to Sia, I hope that she makes a connection and that she's open to one. She seems a bit uptight or still holding that grudge from the last time she was in the bottom. So we'll see.
Good roundup. Thank you, Krishnatha. I appreciate you. Shawn?
So, yeah, I think first they finally understood the assignment on who should be eliminated, because definitely, both of those characters did need to go. So I am glad that they got the order correct. What I would say about the first thing is, listen, we gotta excuse we can't excuse the behavior of KAMIL. She needs to go next, but I think we might see her more just to drag it out. At the end of the day, I feel like her behavior misrepresents women, and it needs to be checked. And she needs to be eliminated from the show, because she is definitely not ready to love. She is ready for snapped, in my opinion. When I think about Sabrina, I would love to see more of her. I know they show little snippets, but she seems like she has a lot to offer to the dating pool. I like her perspectives. I like the way she talks, thinks, and interacts with the men. Courtney, I like that she really gave it to Corey straight, which I think she needed to do. Let's see who she moves on to next. I'm interested to see what her connections are going to look like. AISHA, she is definitely, leading the pack in terms of how she deals with the men, how she's able to connect with different types of men. So I'm looking forward to see how well she navigates this. Sia, I don't know about her. I really don't. I don't know enough to see if she's learned along the way. So I would hope to see that there's some growth coming from her. I think who else did we miss? Dante. He seems like he's a charmer, but 3 kids and 3 baby mamas. I think there's a bigger story to tell there than we need to get under the hood of why he is on this show and what he's learned and what good work he has, so that there's not going to be a 4th, a 5th, and a 6th baby mama out there, because that's a lot. That's a lot of lives, a lot of kids, a lot of women that he's impacting out here. So that one really threw me to see him out here, in this space. And I think I'll yield the rest. Although the petty in me wants me to really lay down a good benediction to ladies, and I don't want to disappoint the ladies. The ladies want to hear your voice again. So Kojo, if you don't mind, to lend Corey a good minute or so just to close us out with a wonderful blessing, because I'm all about making, the majority happy.
I appreciate it, Sean. Oni, did you want to say anything, or you want me to pass the call?
I mean, I wanted to say something, but I'll yield my time to Corey. But before I do, like for next week, I just want Cornelius to man up and show a backbone to Kamil. I think it's overdue. I think we need to know exactly what he's about and what he's looking forward. Hopefully someone else. I think I even want Cornelius to be the one who sends Kamil home, but I'm guessing someone else is going to even do that. My bottom 2 for next week is Tayshia and Kamil. I don't know who's checking for Tayshia, so we'll see what happens. I yield the rest of my time to Corey.
I'm Corey's manager. Before this happens, Corey, you need to put your Cash App up because we pay for this. This makes the money, okay? Continue.
Hey, that Cash App is $ Black Made Media. Is real simple.
Do your thing, bro. This is your time.
Black Made Media. But no, I'm not going to take this away from Sean, but I did want to make mention of one thing that crossed my mind as everyone was talking. A little earlier in the show, I was speaking with Seaway and a couple other ladies regarding Tyrone, and asking questions about, what else besides those 2 things did you find out to be a red flag? I wasn't saying that to be combative. I was saying that to get an understanding of how women think. So I'm going to ask that question. I think this panel really gives a good detail as far as how men and women should interact and should ask each other these questions to get more knowledge about how each other thinks. So I think that's very, very important. And I don't want to sway away from that. I don't want that to be misconstrued as me trying to start a battle or argument or something like that. I really am genuinely trying to understand what are the red flags that women see in men to better understand how women think when it comes to men and dating men. So I appreciate that from you guys, from the panel. And I'm going to turn it back over to Sean, man, because nobody does it like Sean. I appreciate everybody for showing love in the comments. Really show love by going to my page and subscribing to my page. If you like my voice, you hear it on my page. Go to Black Made Media and hit that subscribe button. Much love. I appreciate you.
And send money to that Cash App, his Cash App.
Hey,
Cash
man.
App is $ Black Made Media.
Now somebody already put it in there for you, so they got your back.
He's about to cash it in. Ladies, you know where he's at, so find his Cash App and start blessing him. Sean, please give us the benediction.
I mean, I thought I needn't say anything else, but listen, it's been a great night. We've agreed, we've disagreed. If it don't apply, let it fly. Whoever's out there, it's all love around here. There's no hate. We can disagree and still love each other at the end of the day. And I think that's what makes this channel special. That's what drew me here. So let's take that same message in our personal lives, right? We can listen to a message from a loved one. We can listen to a message from somebody else that's not perfectly tuned to our ears. And sometimes if we really listen, we'll hear a message, right? Because we've got 2 ears and 1 mouth. So let's focus on that and do that math. But to everyone in the comments, good night. God bless you all. Thank you for the fun, the laughter, the good times. And I can't wait to see what the next episode of Ready to Love brings. Back to you, Coach.
I love that. Thank you very much, Sean and Corey, for giving us that ending statements. Guys, it's been brilliant, isn't it? It's been amazing. Listen, when I'm awake, I feel so much better, boy, because, hey, when you're sitting there for 3.5 hours, 4 hours, and you're just waiting to go to bed, it is painful. So, Onu, I feel you, bro. You know what I'm saying? I know you're already napping right now, but listen, audience members, honestly, I appreciate you so much for turning out. You lot came 900 strong, so you're already turning up on this this series. So even though it's boring, some of you are saying you're turning up for the panel, so we appreciate you. You know, you're spending time, quality time with family. So love and appreciate that. So like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification of uploads. Stay locked and stay loaded. We will see you again on Thursday for another blockbuster. Make sure you guys tune in. Level Black, you know what